Good afternoon, all, and welcome back to session number 3 on day number 3 in test number 1 of this series between South Africa and Sri Lanka. South Africa putting the Lankans to the sword. It was ebb and flow for days 1 and 2, but with the injuries that they've suffered, South Africa well in front here, with only themselves to blame if they mess this up. Alongside me on commentary for this next hour of play is Otto Simon, the Oz Master. Otto, what have you thought about this day's play?
Well, since you reminded me of the Jayawardena Sangakkara massacre that they inflicted on us, I'm not really feeling sorry for Sri Lanka anymore, because
right.
I was feeling sorry for them a little bit when I was doing commentary after tea. And then you came on and then you talked about all those times that we got smashed and we got injuries. And so, yes, that's where I am at the moment. Very happy South African fan. Yes.
Absolutely. And Tsepo will be joining us hopefully a little bit later. But this South African batting performance has been spurred on by fantastic knocks by Dean Elgar, as well as Themba Bavuma, and most importantly at the moment, the man still at the crease, Faf du Plessis, who's eking towards a double hundred and a subscription to Leopard Creek. Otto, what's impressed you most about this South African batting performance?
Well, it has to be the opening pair, first of all. I thought they did an amazing job because it wasn't easy in the beginning. Hi, Tsepo, how are you?
Great, thanks, and you guys. Good to see you, Coach Dave.
Good. Let's just sync up quickly. Who's going to do ball by ball?
I think we'll just once we get going, we can decide who's where, because it all depends on who's the slowest. Tsepo, I was just asking Otto what is the most impressive thing about the South African batting performance, and for him initially it was the 141 opening stand from the opening pair of Markram and Elgar.
I must say, Faf du Plessis always impresses. Something about when he comes in, just stabilize the innings. It feels very reminiscent of this one New Zealand test that we had when he came in with Quinton de Kock and Themba Bavuma, really stabilized the game. And I love how the whole team just was able to bat around him. Building partnerships, not just with Themba Bavuma, but also basically with Wiaan Mulder and with Keshav Maharaj right now. He has the goods to get this 200. I really want it for him. He's a player that really deserves a 200 stand, and he's just getting better and better. It's fantastic to watch. Great control of the innings. So, yeah, Faf du Plessis definitely one of the best for me.
He looks a lot happier without the mantle of captaincy.
Right. I must say, captaincy really takes its toll on a lot of players. And I can remember when he got the captain's armband, I was very relieved for the likes of both A.B. de Villiers and Hashim Amla. Just take the pressure off them. And he wasn't really the main man to score the main runs. So I felt that he was the perfect person to take the armband. And how I feel about Quinton de Kock with the armband, it's a bit strange. I like Quinny when he's not thinking. I like him when he's just in there. He's just there for the cricket. Just let him smack a few balls. Let him do that thing where his face just switches off. And when he's there, it's beautiful. But now when he's thinking too much and the camera's always on him when something goes wrong, I don't like seeing him like this. It's just too much pressure for the boy. So, yeah, this captaincy thing, someone's got to do it. But who's it going to be?
Absolutely, and it's a difficult one. It's a difficult question. I think Mpho said it's kind of Cricket South Africa kicking the can down the road, really, because we know that he's not the long term. Well, maybe I'm just speaking for everyone here by saying that we feel that he's not the long term successor to Faf du Plessis. He seems, because he's like that Herschel Gibbs type player, where his best innings come when, one, he's not under pressure, and two, when he's given a bit of license to perform. And I think that's what he felt in the season that's just gone by, where he scored a number of runs for South Africa and saved us, because he was never under pressure to score runs. He just came in. South Africa were batting poorly, and he scored some runs. I think maybe that's what I've assessed of the Quinton de Kock career so far. But interesting to see where that will take us. Otto, what do the Sri Lankans need to do here in this last session?
It's very simple. They need to stick to the basics. I thought at times they definitely wasted the new ball by bowling a bit all over the show. And we saw what Shanaka was able to do when he got the ball in those areas. Around the time when Mulder lost his wicket, he was hitting those areas as he's coming running in now over the wicket to Keshav, who defends this to the onside, and there's no run. I guess I'll start with ball by ball. If you guys want me to pause, then just let me know.
Yeah, do you mind pausing? I still can't see the first ball. I still have
not a problem. You
a bowler warming up. At Shanaka, he's about to receive the ball. I'll tell you when he's about to bowl his first, and I will give you my own ball by ball.
So there was no run off the first ball of the innings. So we'll just wait for everybody's streams here on this side to sync up and catch up. 565 for 6 South Africa. I was telling Dave earlier that I've lost my sympathy for Sri Lanka after Dave reminded me of all the times that we've been under the pump like
coming
this.
Into bowl, and he's just bowled one. It went to mid wickets for no run, and that's where I'm at ball by ball. Just got the first ball.
Okay, so we are synced up there. Do you want to take ball by ball, Tefo?
Sure thing.
Okay, cool. So Shanaka in the game.
Yep. And Shanaka, just at the end of his run-up, coming in for his second ball as South Africa sitting on 565 for 6. Keshav Maharaj blocks this one to the offside, and cover picks that up for no run.
Okay, so I'm about 48 seconds behind the live stream at the moment.
Yeah. Just everybody needs to do some hard work here with the ball, do the Sri Lankans, because it's going to be an important last passage of play. If they can sneak 2 sticks, I think they're back in it.
They're back in it, and this one blocked to the offside. A quick single here from Faf du Plessis as he dives, and he's just safe. Oh, it looked like it was a very close one here, and Faf is lying down on the ground. No, he's okay. He's just being his usual self. We were chatting earlier about when the bowlers really give one to Faf. He's just so animated whenever he's on the verge of injury. And we're looking at this one, very close one, but it always looks like he would have been safe. But yes, safe, and bat's also down. So just got the run-out replay there. Possible shout for a run-out, but Faf dove in very nice. And that puts South Africa on 566 for 6.
That lead is 170. Dave, will you watch the tweets for us? Because
yes, I'm actually setting that up. I'm setting that up my side.
Okay. Do tweet us in at Guerilla SA, and don't forget, if you are a business owner or a marketing person, you are welcome to get in touch with us if you'd like to advertise your brand or your product on sports radio on Guerilla Cricket South Africa, and we are also available to cover the Curry Cup, the football, the Premier League here in South Africa, even European football. The guys have broadcast that. So if you're interested to get your brand associated with sports for a relatively nominal fee, we'll be happy to do that for you. Next ball.
And here comes Shanaka. This one a bit close to the pads, and Faf chips this to a deep mid-wicket region, gets himself a single, gets him to 178, and South Africa 567 for 6.
And also don't forget all the women's cricket. So we try and focus our efforts, our pro bono efforts on the women and men national teams of South Africa. So that's also an opportunity for you to get in front of some new faces. If you have a company that you want to advertise, get in touch.
This one a bit shorter, and Keshav Maharaj leaves this one going down the off side straight into the keeper's hands.
So I don't know how far you guys got with the discussion about Quinton's captaincy for a moment, but it didn't look to me like he was holding back when he was playing. He made a silly mistake, played a silly shot, threw away his wicket. But that's Quinton. Either it's a 100 or not.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was holding back at all. As Shanaka bowls another one, this one just on the offside, and Keshav Maharaj punches this one very square for a single. Yeah, I wasn't holding back at all, but it felt a lot more reckless than anything else. But to be fair, Kuzal Pereira did the same thing with his innings. Felt like he threw his wicket away, chopping one on, or not chopping one on, really throwing the kitchen sink at one that was going pretty wide from Björn Mulder for his wickets. And Quinton de Kock also misjudging a ball of spin for his. It just didn't look calculated. It looked a lot more reckless than it did aggressive. You know, that aggressive, that thinking aggression that we've been looking for, that has been spoken about. It wasn't quite that. So, yeah.
Let's see, Hasaranga, the first of the injuries to come back for Sri Lanka. Have we seen Kumara back in the field yet?
Not yet. Nothing yet. So Ravi Reddy is asking, if Kesh doesn't get 100, he will get his highest score, over 72. And
we said that about Temba. Let's touch some wood, please.
Absolutely interesting.
And Hasaranga bowled
the back foot.
Thank you very much for that one, Otto.
And the next one. That's Plessis playing down to mid-off as well, and then he takes a single as well. 2 runs off the first 2 balls. Partnership is now 94 runs from 122 balls. 170 for 6. The lead is 174. And the Proteas have faced how many overs? Let me check quickly. Next one, Sheffield.
I've got it. And this one flighted very close to the stumps, but Keshav Maharaj drives this one down to long off for a single, taking South Africa to 571 for 6.
Yeah, and this is the 8th over. So we're halfway to the new ball stint, or this ball's stint almost.
Ooh.
Just a
bit of lag here.
Plessis drives this straight to the man at the extra cover, and there is no run. 571 for 6.
So Otto, do you mind doing ball by ball? My feet is shaky, quite shaky. And
Hasaranga again to Plessis, works this just wide of the man at mid-on, who runs around to deep mid-wicket to keep them down to just a single. He moves on to...
Oof. We just lost Otto. A bit of technical difficulties here.
No, not a problem. This one's whipped away to the onside as Kusal Mendes collects that. And is there one more, or is that? Yeah, it looks like there's going to be one more in this Hasaranga over. And Plessis going to 180. A mammoth score here from him. And we can only expect more from the former South African captain.
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. Welcome back.
No worries. This one blocked by Keshav Maharaj into the offside for no run. Oh, for 1 run. It was a quick single. One thing I must say, the running between the wickets when Faf is at the crease, it's very intense. It keeps the strike rotating, and he keeps the pressure on the bowling team as the score just keeps ticking away. You can't just sit comfortably. You're never lulled into just bowling. And that's also a joy to watch. You know, it's not just the beautiful shots. It's the take every single run you can get. He's really looking to set up a big score here. And yeah, this mammoth total, I'm very excited to see it.
Ravi Reddy saying, technically Temba's not out. It was a self-inflicted dismissal.
he retired.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Self-retired.
Yes.
Oh, man.
He retired because he couldn't hit the 6. So do you want me to carry on with ball by ball? Shanaka here to Faf du Plessis to mid-off and no run? Or do you want to take it away, Tepo?
Thank you. No, please, Otto, you do it.
No, I just had to. I forgot to kick my kids off the Wi-Fi, the next test I'll be in better shape. Then my connection will be back up to 10 megs per second, and the fair usage policy will be thrown away. Shanaka to Faf du Plessis, who drives this off the back foot into the covers for no run.
Man, got fucked.
And again, we see that Shanaka is getting some good lines here. He's rolling to his field. He's not giving Faf enough room to drive. So that's why I think Faf is trying to play that back foot cut shot there. So if you stick to your basics on this wicket, you can get something done. Shanaka again, du Plessis works this off his off stump onto the leg side, and they go through 4-2 down as fine leg runs up to field. 574 for 6.
A quick question to you, gentlemen. Who is the pick of the Sri Lankan players for you now? You've seen probably a lot of bowling and a lot of batting and a lot of people gone off. But for me, I must say, Shanaka has been quite the impressive all-rounder, in fact, with that lovely 66 not out. Took it to the South African attack. And his bowling has been the most consistent of the Sri Lankans, maybe of the whole squad, in fact, of the whole match, sorry. Definitely been a joy to watch. And who's the best Sri Lankan in your books?
Faf du Plessis plays this one out into the covers again for no run, 574 for 6. Yeah, Shanaka is definitely standing up for me with his bowling figures. His economy is below the scoring rate, well below the scoring rate in the innings. So that's a plus for him. I think that caught and bowled by him and Tebo Pavu's wicket was a lucky one. And this one in by Shanaka, Faf du Plessis tries to go down on one knee and slap it through the covers, but that was not to be. He mistimed the shot and no run. And then obviously De Silva, before he got injured, he looked well on his way to a big score. Never mind the century. I thought he was going to really pile the hurt on and then Chandimal. His batting display was exceptional as well. I think this one by Shanaka goes past Faf du Plessis, who leaves it alone, and there is no one. Tweets.
Yeah, so Ravi Reddy saying, at one point, Paul Mareki and I actually could have sworn they saw Peter Malan in the dressing room. Can they perhaps confirm this? And the last time he saw Faf bat this well was in an ODI against Sri Lanka at Newlands in 2017. He scored 180. And Wahid Vadi, our own commentator, saying, I cannot understand any talk of deceleration. Sri Lanka are struggling. Bat them into oblivion with the intention of only batting once. The longer you keep them out there, the more emotionally and physically draining this becomes. Break them.
Yep, 100% agree with that.
That is definitely the name of the game here for the South Africans. As Vaid was saying, it's all about batting once. You don't need to come out again with the surface deterioration that's probably going to happen. You don't know the weather either. We could get some rain, lots of clouds here. Sorry, Otto, ball by ball.
Asaranga first ball, driven down the pitch to the bowler by Maharaj. There is no run. Maharaj is on 47. The lead is 178. Asaranga with his second delivery now on an off stump, blocked down to cover by Maharaj, and there is no run.
Yeah, it's just about burying the game.
If you want to,
the name of the game here.
Sure.
Yes, no, absolutely. Bury them deep. Don't give them any hope of winning the game. Let's set them a score, send them into bat, get those 6 wickets. Well, 7 wickets now that Asaranga is back. Maharaj facing Asaranga, blocks this, goes squirting past the slip. The man at short third man runs back to field, and they take a quick single.
So if you want to hear
5.
your thoughts read out and want to share something with us, if you're a Sri Lankan fan and you just want to lament your team's performance, don't forget you can tweet us at Guerilla SA, GUERILLASA. Don't forget as well, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, tune in, we're everywhere, 1WSR.com.
Asaranga to see now into extra cover where it's fielded and they don't take a single. Maharaj is on 48 and Plessis is on 182. So he's almost got the lead now. He comes in again to Plessis, back for drive by out man on the cover boundary for a lazy single. Let's see, one ball left in the over here. And Maharaj is congratulating Faf for something. Maybe it's
100 partnership.
100 partnership. Well done, both of them. They're congratulating each other. Looked like it was calling Faf over for a celebration, and Faf wasn't. Was like, what are you saying? Oh, okay, yes, 100-run partnership. Well done. Asaranga over the wicket, and Keshav Maharaj chops this down to the short third man or a backward point, and they don't take a single. End of the over. 100-run partnership off 138.
Yeah, I think Otto's cutting out quite badly. So I'm gonna, if it's all good with you, I'm gonna take over the Boba ball. South Africa 5-7-6 for 6. The lead now 180. And another tweet coming in from Ravi Reddy saying, I would declare today, give Sri Lanka 10 overs to bat, and that's pretty much all his thoughts are. So he disagrees with Wahid Vardy, but congratulating Faf and Keshav Maharaj on their 100. Just having a look at South Africa's highest test scores. It includes wonderful innings there by Hashim Amla with his 311 at the Oval in 2012. The most recent score in that group as well, as we see the highest test scores for South Africa. Eddie de Villiers breaking that stranglehold that he had Graham Smith had over South African highest test scores. But this one's first ball is defended into the offside, no run. Apiwe Strina saying, I saw Nandre Berger and I didn't remember him in the squad. He's thereabouts. Tsepo, I mean, you would know about him?
About Berger?
Nandre Berger, yeah, he's done really well at the domestic level, so he must surely be there and thereabouts. Shanaka smashed through the covers, and they just get through for the single.
He might be just there for the experience, so a touring player, so to speak. So on the selector's horizon, but he might not necessarily get. I'm talking about now.
A net bowler in the COVID bubble. Something to think about there. As Maharaj is 2 away from a milestone. We won't say what it is. Shanaka is 2 away from his 100. Is Shanaka? He's 28 overs bowled, right arm over, passing an umpire now, and Maharaj just defends it without much fuss. Gents.
Yeah, so he says you can't have touring players in quotes, in air quotes, I would say, in COVID bubble. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a waste of resources. Why would you have somebody there that isn't going to play? So
net bowlers, though. Net bowlers, surely net bowlers.
Yes. Okay.
And again, this one's driven by Maharaj. Doesn't quite time it there because his bat turns in his hand, and Faf says, "No, mate."
So this was the wicket at T that we're having a look at here. And you can see cracks, green cracks there in the pitch. But it still looks pretty much the same. It hasn't dried out at all because of the humidity that we've been having here.
Yeah, but tons of cracks still there from the first day. We're hoping they would deteriorate a bit more later on in the match. But we'll see. There was still a lot on offer from the get-go. So definitely a lot to work with.
Defended once again by Keshav Maharaj, and a thumbs up to his former captain, asking how many balls left in the over. Just a conversation that was going on earlier. If you remember, Simon Gear was driving through the Karoo, and Nicole Brouwer rather is saying, well, if you're coming to Cape Town, just pop in for a cup of coffee. So Simon, tweet us a photo when you get to wherever you're going. As Shanaka's in again, and Maharaj squares up and he defends this one, but no fortune there for Shanaka.
No, that's the end of the over.
Here.
That is the end of the over. Go for it, Seppo.
Oh yes, just a reply here from Umpo. He's on his Simon's on his way to Kimberley, so I think he's going upwards, a bit north. So we're not going to have that coffee in Cape Town, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's actually probably going to the only open beach in South Africa.
Oh yeah,
in Kimberley.
In Kimberley,
next to the Orange River,
the big hole, the big hole, big hole filled with water. It's the only open beach in South Africa.
Time. Some people are saying beaches aren't open, but at least potholes aren't going to be closed for December holidays.
Started the next over, and it's a bump ball to the man at catching cover from that Faf du Plessis shot. Ravi Reddy's saying Nandre is a net bowler. Not a bad choice if you want to face 140 kilometers an hour plus. And he also says that he's glad that Faf doesn't say no run like our friend Mr. Labuschagne of Australia. This one is slapped down the ground where Lasith Embledenia does the fielding. And that's 150 up for Hasaranga, who's collecting his runs plentifully.
Collecting balls as well, quite plentifully. He's been given a big task here on debut. Bowled now, he's into his 40th over. A lot more balls than you expected. But I mean, as a debutant, he came to bowl, so must be a good time.
Absolutely. And that one just carved out as Maharaj gets one run closer, and Faf du Plessis happy to just to marshal some things here as Hasaranga's in again, and it's a floated one. He just whips that away through the cover region. It looks like Embledenia is going to have to do some work here, but he gets round in the end, and they meander through for two as Maharaj has to duck because of the way that things have transpired with that throw. Faf du Plessis asking again, two to come.
Let's see this next ball.
Hasaranga in again, and Faf slaps it back at Hasaranga. He could have had a catch, I think. Is that a missed opportunity there, or was it a bump ball rather with one to come?
We'll check it. We'll check it now. But after this ball, Hasaranga would have bowled a rain interrupted ODI. 40th over, he is in. No, that's bumped. He just didn't manage to stop it. But next ball.
And the next one smashed through the covers. Faf du Plessis giving himself some room there, and he's laced that through the cover region. 4 runs, sir. 191. End of that over. South Africa 5-8, 5 for 6. The lead 189.
And that has definitely been Faf du Plessis' strong point on his wagon wheel. Through the covers, he scored 49 runs this match, and seeing all of the shots, the cover drives, it's very easy to see why. He looks like he's really enjoying the shots there. Also getting a lot of bang for your buck here with the shots in the high felt. Definitely high scoring. Similar thing happened with Aiden Markram through the covers as well. It looked fantastic through there. So it's looking really good.
This is the South African highest total in test matches versus Sri Lanka.
Against Sri Lanka, yeah. So we've broken our previous record, which was 580 for 4 declared in Cape Town in 2012. But Hasaranga, I must mention as well, he's conceded 150 runs now, but he's also conceding runs at less than the innings run rate, 3.8 runs per over. So he's also one of the better bowlers, and I think he's simply been conceding 150 because of the amount of overs he's bowled. So Karunaratne is back into the attack, about to finish his fifth over after taking over from Kumara. We still not sure if Kumara is back on the field, but probably isn't yet. So still 3 injuries for Sri Lanka and potentially only 7 wickets to get for South Africa.
Karunaratne now with his last ball, and this one has gone wide and beaten the wicketkeeper Nirshanda Guerilla. It's looking like it doesn't get quite as far, but they come through for 2, and it'll be buys or leg buys or Maharaj is celebrating a 50, but
he just got his 50.
Third
Yep,
test
they gave
50
him the
for
runs.
Maharaj.
Okay, no knee slapping by the umpire. So Maharaj, well done. Since we don't have jingles, we might as well give him an applause.
There's
Make up our own. Also getting a
lead now
tweet here from
191.
Ravi Reddy.
Sure.
Sorry about that, Dave. Getting a tweet here from Ravi Reddy congratulating his favorite spinner. 54 Keshav Maharaj, well played. And also another one. Whoa, slow your roll, friend. Let's wait for the declaration first.
Do you think declaration is on here? No.
Karunaratne starting. The Super Sport scorers are woeful. I'm sorry. They've just said he's completed his 5th over before he's bowled that ball. So who knows?
Yeah,
who
that's
knows
because he completed
on?
He completed Kumara's over.
Right.
So that's why I chuckled when you said he finished his over with his first delivery. So the scorers are correct there.
I'm with you. That one beats the bat and Rice Mile from the South African left arm spinner, the half Centurion.
Yeah, good stuff here for Maharaj. Yeah, it's going to help his confidence as well. Getting some time in the middle. Yeah, that's a bit of, was that an off cutter there, or was that pitch?
Just a seam up delivery.
Okay,
Standard
so that was the seam
delivery, yeah.
Seam movement.
Karunaratne in once again, and this one has popped up and almost went to the man at a lurking leg slip there, very close. But Karunaratne is hoping to buy a wicket, to purchase a post Christmas sale wicket here, 590 for 6.
Well, there we can see that the pitch is doing something for the bowlers. They just need to keep it there on that length. That one was aimed at the off stump, so Maharaj had to play it, and it misbehaved off the pitch. Once again, just consistency needed from the bowlers.
Francois du Plessis facing up to Karunaratne. Oh, what a peach of a delivery. It's ended up being buys there, but that one spat up out the track. Except for a couple of deliveries here we've seen that have misbehaved off the surface.
And all of a sudden, Karunaratne looking like one of the more dangerous bowlers in the attack. And it's just about hitting those lengths and hitting that line. There's a specific crack that's quite volatile that I'm very surprised that many of the bowlers have not been hitting, because you're getting things bouncing off a length, and sometimes they even stay low. We saw a few balls from yesterday, some analysis showing how some of Sipamla's balls didn't bounce that much.
They defended there from Maharaj.
Yeah, if that's the case, then aim at the stumps, because if one is going to keep low and crawl through the grass to the stumps, you can get an LBW that way.
And that's what the likes of Vernon Philander have been begging for on commentary, and it's just we just haven't seen that consistency from the bowling. And as you can see, Karunaratne hitting that same spot, using it to his advantage, and as you said, Dave, hoping to buy a wicket just with some variable bounce, and he's in the game. He's in the game.
And like we said in the previous session just before tea, that Karunaratne does have the wicket of Faf du Plessis. He managed to pick it up in the last series, where a ball that just died under the bat of Faf du Plessis. But South Africa right in the ascendancy here. Elgar with that wonderful 95 and his partner Markram to get us started there. But after that, couple of brain farts, gentlemen, you could say, with that first delivery just being defended. Or he tried to play it, missed it, no run.
Yeah, was that another crack hit there? Because we saw Mendes spinning, getting some turn. And now has Hasaranga. Yeah, so let's see. That's for a stumping. Foot in the air by Faf. They're checking for a foot in the air. It's down. It's down there, I think. Let's see.
Oh, it's elevated.
And down.
Oh no. Faf, don't get out like this. This is a brain fart. You see, but Murray Erasmus, to be fair, you can look at where his eyes are fixed. It's not on the stumping, and that's why he's gone upstairs. I think he's drifted there.
Just getting 2 tweets in here from Algarville. A reply to Ravi Reddy saying that we'll wait for Keshav Maharaj, and also getting one from Umpo, your friendly sports guy. That could have been Sarel Irva, who we saw the other day showing his biceps. And we like to see some guns out when the sun's out here. So just keep that going.
Absolutely. So, gentlemen,
still checking for the stumping.
I mean, is this the if I don't even know what to say, because this is if Faf du Plessis gets out like this, I honestly feel like it is the most brain dead way to get out. 190 odd, and you pull the bat out the way of a ball and get stumped. I mean, gents,
what if you're like 71 odd and then you chop one at a ball and then it doesn't hit your bat, but you hear a sound, so you leave? I think that's probably one of the most brain dead ways to go out.
I'm not engaging with that. Not engaging with that, because that's just hurtful that you're speaking that way.
They're still checking the stumping, by the way. It's difficult to tell from the angles that they're looking at if Faf was dragging his feet across the ground, because his foot does move while the ball is getting dislodged. So he put his foot down and the gloves come through.
Yeah, I think he's safe there. His foot is planted.
And his foot is planted. You can see
his foot is planted when the bail is when the bail is dislodged, his foot is planted, but after that it's lifted. So
and
I think that's what
a little bit and puts it down straight away, and then the bail falls. Then you can see the bail falling.
But the question is that we can't see from the replays, when is the bail dislodged completely? Because the bail has to be off both stumps.
The bail is falling in line with the stumps from the camera angle. And you can just see there his foot is planted and the bail is behind the stumps. So it's really tricky, this one. It's a pity we don't have one of those spider cams that was watching from above.
So when Diquilla's hands take the bail off,
he's planted his foot, and now you see him lift his foot, and then you can see the bail.
I wouldn't want to be
coming out behind the stumps. So
he's out. He's out. Oh no, this is buying a wicket. Oh, Mpo's saying not out. Maybe it's.
I don't think he was out there, because when the bail is lifted and the bail is dislodged, his foot is down.
But his foot is lifted.
He lifts his foot off the bail.
I thought the camera was supposed to make this easier. Oh, this is VAR all over again.
Waiting for the screen to come up now.
Green. Is it green? Come on, green.
The screen is green, but it's still pending.
Alahuddin Paleka in his first game as third umpire. So South Africa fully engrossed here, and everybody's watching the screen.
We're getting a tweet from Ravi Reddy. Not out. Come on, Faf. Hashtag SAVSL and at SA. But we just want to see if this is out. We're hanging with bated breath here. Oh, it's not out.
Not out.
Jeepers.
There's the green.
That was close.
Stressful.
That was very close.
It was as close as you can be. I think probably the third umpire would say no conclusive evidence, as they say in rugby. Nothing conclusive to confirm that his foot was in the air when the bail was dislodged. We know that we can see the bail at this point.
Absolutely. Hasaranga carrying on with his over, and they race through for 2 quick runs. Faf is obviously in a hurry now that he's been given a small reprieve. Maharaj with 54, and Faf is saying, come, let's get a move on here.
Pedal to the metal, boys. Let's get this done.
It was all about the way the bail was taken off, because you couldn't see the bail being dislodged, because it was such a small motion and it just went tumbling down the upside of the wickets out of view.
Back foot is shot there from Du Plessis, and he just dots it back at the bowler.
But this is the type of luck that the Sri Lankans are going to need, because it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get anything else. Bowling hasn't been very convincing. They've been limping through these innings.
Absolutely, and this next one is just knocked out into the point region, a squarish point rather, and Faf du Plessis with a big smile on his face. Hasaranga has 2 balls remaining in this over. Faf du Plessis cuts that away and still finds a man in the coverage, and he just cannot win with piercing the gap. He knows he's so close, but he just can't quite get a win.
So how the rules work, correct me if I'm wrong here, if Sri Lanka did have a review, let's see this ball.
This one is driven out to long off. Plessis Thembaldenia, the man who was left out of this test for Hasaranga, collects, and that is the end of the over.
So if the umpires had given him not out, and then Sri Lanka had reviewed, they would have stayed with the not out, I think, on that occasion, because there was no proof that.
I think you can't review. You can't review it. Who are you going to send it to? Because it's not like the on-field decision was out and then you would review. The on-field decision was, I don't know. Let's decide.
Yeah, it was an umpire's review, so you can't review. Yes, there's
stumpings or runouts. Yeah,
stumpings and runouts. You can't review that as a player. Okay, so that's
absolutely.
Okay, so
594 for 6 is Karuna Ratna comes in again, and this one's whipped wide of the man at kind of a close-ish mid-wicket, but he manages to snuffle it out, and no run there. 6 overs, 0 for 35 from Karuna Ratna, the man who captained in the previous series to victory. He comes in again, and this pops up and beats Karuna Ratna with a return catch, but thankfully for South Africa, or unfortunately for Sri Lankans, there's nothing coming from it.
Just some tweets here. One from Percy Oaks. He says, at Guerilla Cricket SA, that was one of those decisions where it's so hard to tell, then it should stay with what the on-field umpires decided, which is probably what the TV umpire decided. And it's probably one of those decisions where there's no conclusive evidence to overturn a decision that was already made, even though there was really no decision made.
The soft signal would have been not out in that case, yes.
Exactly. Karuna Ratna in there, and that one just strays down the leg side as Maharaj has a wry smile.
And with the catch, if the umpire's soft signal is out and the TV umpire can't say that the player didn't catch the ball cleanly, then it stays with that soft signal.
Next one is defended by Maharaj and says, halfway, sir. Or not quite. He's only bowled a couple of deliveries here. To the come, rather.
I think if Big Willa had punched the stumps a little bit harder, and you could see the ball flying out of the grooves when that happened exactly.
Absolutely. In again, and
it would have been a lot more convincing.
Definitely. That one is just defended into the offside. No run as Maharaj gets ready to face his final ball in the over. South Africa 1 away from a 200 lead, and the score being 595 for 6. I'm not sure he knows what to do with so many cherries on his bat here, but
yes, we have another feature from Ravi Reddy.
Cut away, and that just goes on the bounce, and nothing for him there That is the end of Karuna Ratna's over, as we see a bit of a cramp there from Maharaj. 595 for 6.
So just
Ravi says, I
to
think
finish off on that stopping for the sorry, read the tweets. Let's go.
Sorry about that. Ravi says, I think if Faf scores a double ton today, there will be plenty of Barbies with the same name, or babies, sorry, babies with the same name, Faf Aladdin in 2021.
Faf Palekar.
Faf Pileka.
François Aladdin. Yes, you attach the rest. Yeah, so just for everybody who's listening and not able to watch, the ball was so softly, almost slid over the groove on the leg side stump, and then it slid and fell down behind the stump, so the umpire couldn't see exactly when the ball was dislodged on the TV
Slapped
replay.
through the covers is the first ball of the next over, but Kusal Mendes with a fantastic bit of fielding. 50% saying, come on, lad, just let that go through. There's a bit of a chuckle from everyone behind the stumps. This
just
is
allow me to get this double century.
the next one in is a defensive shot from Faf du Plessis and a loud shout from Guerilla, I think in desperation as he gives Faf du Plessis the side there. South Africa with the 3 reviews remaining, as Hasaranga is in again, and Faf du Plessis drives this one, and he'll get another single as he goes to 196. Maharaj will be the man who will hopefully try and get a quick single here.
Yeah, so 200 lead is also on the boards here for South Africa. So coming back to the declaration thing, I think we're all in agreement. There's no need for a declaration. No declaration matters as long as you get it.
I think if it comes, it will come through from the from after Faf gets his double here. That last one just defended, and no run there.
So Dave, if you were coaching or captaining this team, would you go for a declaration, seeing what the wicket is doing and the lead is 200?
No, they must bowl us out. This one is lifted up and over the mid-on region, and that will go for 4. Wonderful stuff from the South Africans. The lead is 204, and it's the 11th score of 600 since readmission. Tsepo, what have you to say about this?
Yeah, 600. It's exactly what we needed the plan to be. With Sri Lankan side with a weakened bowling attack, you'd expect nothing less, especially since we came into the day sitting on well over 300 for only 4 wickets. As you were saying, Dave, we just got to keep pushing on. They must bowl us out. It's not just about the runs here. It's about the test series. It's about getting the bowlers tired, getting the team demotivated so that you can go in with confidence in the next game.
Hasaranga in again, and this one's driven square of the wicket, and a wonderful shot there by Keshav Maharaj. Mpo is telling us that this is the 3rd fastest score of 600 at a run rate of 4.41 by South Africa.
Wow.
No ways?
Great stuff.
No, they're not. It's just drinks.
Just drinks. Except with the false alarm there.
That 4 by Maharaj was another short delivery by Hasaranga. So that's been his weak point, is that he's just dropping those short ones in there now and then.
The lack of consistency in the bowling has definitely been stark. It's been a very salient feature of the game from both ends. It's a bit disappointing to see. But that's due to the lack of seniority. And we have a tweet here from Ravi saying, Quinton de Kock made me a bit nervous for a second. He almost got up to signal the declaration to Faf when he was on 196. And that's what I was pretty afraid of. We're getting replies here from Bulile PM. Yeah, me too. Yeah, us as well here in the commentary box. It was pretty intense.
Absolutely. It's not often that you get a chance to score 200 in a test match. In a tier 1 fixture. So this is definitely not the time to declare, and we don't think any declaration should be coming soon. Maybe you can look at a declaration maybe like after tea tomorrow or after lunch tomorrow to give yourself 4 or 5 sessions to bowl Sri Lanka out, if we're still batting by them a lead of more than 300. So I think if the lead goes past 300, we've got to go and get those 10 or get those 7 wickets before one of those guys that have been off the field in the innings get back on their feet. That being Kumara and Rajita. So that's maybe why the Sri Lankans are playing their cards close to their chest with regards to the injuries, because that might influence a declaration decision.
Vishwa Fernando with the change of bowling here as he comes in. He's going to start his 29th over bowling today. I mean, that's serious strain on a fast bowler, Tsepo. It's not something that you train for whatsoever.
I was chatting to Otto and AB in the last session as Fernandez comes in around the wicket to Faf du Plessis for block for no run. I was telling the gents that Sri Lankans didn't have test prep before this. They had a T20 series before they came down to SA. We had the 4-day franchise to help us get our eyes in. And I mean, you saw it with the likes of Markham and Algar. They look fantastic with that opening partnership that set the tone for the rest of the innings. So, yeah, you definitely don't just jump into the deep end with test cricket.
South Africa's best test batsman since readmission, Anrich Nortje, there, just shadow batting and practicing his defenses. And leaves as Fernando comes in again and left alone by Faf, nothing there.
Another tweet from Ravi.
Nortje is coming in next in front of Supama.
Seems like that's the case. Ravi agrees. Nortje has his pads on, and we may see an overnight declaration, says Ravi. The heavy roller ready. Loving those R's.
Absolutely. South Africa in control here. 204 the lead, 600 for 6. And Vishwa Fernando, third ball of his 29th. This one's carved away behind point, and there's just one run there for them as Faf du Plessis ekes, squeaks, crawls closer to that milestone.
Yeah, I wonder. Milestone. We saw some stats. Sorry about that. Also, we saw some stats earlier of Faf du Plessis' average while he was Test captain and after he was Test captain. He was averaging just about 30 something with the armband, and once the armband was off, he was averaging well over 40. So that pressure that we're chatting about with the armband, it's a real thing. It's not something to be underestimated. And it's a big thing to chat about with Quinton de Kock with the armband. It's quite the talking point.
Absolutely, it's massive pressure because when you're captaining and keeping, and you're still very young, it's a challenging one indeed. Vishwa Fernando in, and it's a ball that Maharaj has just sat back and helped it on its way. What a shot! 4 runs, sir.
Oh, we have another tweet from Ravi here saying, my wife's been waiting patiently for me to take her for some frozen yogurt, and she's been briefed that Faf comes first in our relationship. Jeepers. Faf comes first. Ladies not loving to hear that, but the facts are the facts. Eh? Just let him get his 200, babe. We'll get some frozen yogurts, and we can all celebrate together.
We'll celebrate with frozen yogurt.
If watching cricket is the worst thing Ravi does, then that's not too bad, I'd say.
The great thing about it is that he can take Guerilla Cricket with him to go get frozen yogurt. We're with you, Ravi. Take us with you. We're all for a ride.
Just pop the one earphone out, and then you can still hear what's going on around you.
Tweet us 200 and Froyo.
Yep, I'm in for my final 10 minutes of the day.
We have a reply to Ravi's. Just a ball here, bowled on the
Vishwa Fernando with the back of the hand slow ball there, and well dealt with by Keshav Maharaj. Looks like they just want that single because Faf wants his mark. He wants his milestone.
We have another teacher from Owen Nkumo. I tried the same thing with my wife and failed. She gave me that look. Yeah, it doesn't work
we know
with
that
everyone.
look. That look in the inverted commas.
That's the one. That's
the one that can kill a man. throwing daggers. 197 Faf du Plessis, 272 deliveries, 91 has Maharaj faced for his 63, and we see a spanked shot there from Faf du Plessis. But again, gentlemen, like an elderly lady going up the stairs, du Plessis gets a
One
one.
run at a time.
He's picking out the fielders now with surgeon-like precision. Smashing the balls to the boundary, but straight to the fielders.
It shows how impatient we are as commentators, because we so desperately want him to get his 200. If we want him to get his 200, what on earth is he thinking? Come on, can I just get there?
Yeah, he looks
Seems
calm.
like it's just getting bats on ball. Exactly. Yeah, you're saying, Otto, he looks very calm. Just get bats on ball. You don't want to lose technique, because it's not about just getting to 200 and then leaving. It's about getting to 200 and staying in. There's a bigger job to do here. There's a bigger series.
Absolutely. Faf du Plessis facing now for the next ball from Hasaranga, and he just dots that away without much fuss. Guerilla's got a slip for company, so at least he can chat to someone, because it looks like all of the fielders are hanging out on the boundary, as everyone in the South African change room not moved. They know the rule. If something's going right, you don't move. Hasaranga in once again, and it's a little bit of a shorter one, and Faf just carves this away through to the cover sweeper, as they applaud every run, and we're one away here from something or other. I can't remember what it is. 608 for 6. South Africa lead is 202. 166 for Hasaranga. He's batted well. Bowled well today.
Yeah, we're one run away from a 133-run partnership as well.
Absolutely. That's the most important milestone we have here, as Keshav Maharaj takes his turn to bat, and he carves this away, but he doesn't quite time it, and the man at point can collect that one. 83 kilometers an hour, and hands-on head stuff from Hasaranga, as he was hoping to get a dismissal that was reminiscent of Vian Mulder earlier in the day, as the sun begins to set at Supersport Park. Hasaranga in again, slip waiting, and this is driven down the ground too long off, as we finally get a 133 partnership. Wonderful stuff from these two, from 184 deliveries, and massive effort here from these guys.
Yeah, a record partnership for the 7th wicket, so another congratulations between these two. And I couldn't read out the rest there.
Yeah, the previous one was 132 by Mark Archer with Mark Archer. Oh my word!
Be serious.
Oh my stars in heaven! Another one like Dean Elgar has been dismissed on 199. South Africa have head in hands from Quinton de Kock and Dean Elgar, as he knows that pain very well, a victim of it himself, and just shocked. Wonderful bit of batting by the former South African captain. He's going to be livid with himself, and he's also going to get a couple of fines. Glenton Steerman, the man who's not playing in this game but is eating his shirt there.
Biting his shirt.
Robbie!
Just a lazy lob shot there to mid on. Easy catch for Sri Lanka there. So poor shot by du Plessis, and nobody but himself to blame there. He looked calm, but the pressure got to him. But well played. Personal best, and he got away with one there, the stumping. He's the star of the innings for South Africa for this first innings. And has taken the game far away from Sri Lanka. So well done, Faf du Plessis.
So close, yet so far. Fudge brownies. Fudge. If you know what I'm referring to, you know why. Applause from his teammates, and the only person who can kind of commiserate with him is Dean Elgar, because he knows exactly what that feels like. A man dismissed for 199, as we see a new man. No declaration from Quinton de Kock as he goes back into the change room, because I think he's just going to let South Africa bat out here. The new man that will walk to the crease looks like Heinrich Nokia was the man who was set up to come.
We saw him padded up and shadow boxing in the change room, practicing some shots there in the change room.
Just have a look at this.
Oh wow! Straight
Plessis.
to mid on.
Yeah, he's just straight down his throat. I mean, Demuth Karunaratne, spirit of the game. Grass it. Come on. Shame. Faf,
no.
head in disarray.
And
That's exactly what's happened.
Indeed, Algar, they can't watch. He was watching, and then he just put his head back into his arms there, as Faf gets some fist bumps from the Sri Lankan team. And
we have a few tweets here.
Go for it.
Ravi said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, Faf. Well played, Meneer." And he did the job for us today. I mean, 199 it's basically 200, but it's not. We also have one from Lee that's not pronounced Steve.
Hasaranga in again, and this one's just defended angrily by Heinrich Nokia, the best batsman the world has ever seen.
So we got a tweet from Lee that's not pronounced Steve at Guerilla Cricket SA. Ah ha 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 ha! No free golf for you. Yep, it is what it is. It could have been, but it wasn't. Then one more from Josie Oak saying at Guerilla Cricket SA, may as well declare now and get a few wickets before the end of the day after a couple of days of fielding in that heat.
Absolutely. South Africa 609 for 7. The Sri Lankans have been chasing for 138 overs, chasing leather, not chasing the score. South Africa well in the ascendancy here with the lead exceeding that of 200. Elgar 95, Markram 68, 15 for Edison, 199 for
I think with 3 wickets in hand, declaration is definitely not the way to go. Give these tailenders a chance to frustrate the Sri Lankans a bit more.
Vishwa Fernando is going to start his 30th over here. He's going to come left arm over the wicket to the season campaigner in Maharaj. He's on 64. He bumps him, and De Guerilla takes that without much fuss.
Yeah, and one more tweet from Ravi already saying, "Yeah, looks like my wife got the last laugh in the end, mates."
You see, that's why you don't say
You should have just gone that ice cream, my man. That's what you should have done.
Exactly, because that's why we have like things like PVR. You just got to.
Yeah. And Guerilla Cricket SA, so you can take it with you.
Absolutely. If you really want to watch it, then go for it. But take us with you. This one is dragged down the leg side by Vishwa Fernando, and Maharaj doesn't get anything from it. 129 kilometers an hour, probably the fastest delivery we've seen in a long time. But South Africa lead here by 2-1-3.
But I do want to have a conversation about the declaration. Now, do you think that it would be best for South Africa to get Sri Lanka in, put them under pressure? Because I could feel like the Sri Lankans, they have their tails up. It's a little victory there, getting a scalp on 199. So maybe get the pressure back on them, or do we just keep batting them into the ground? Do we just keep going until maybe even tomorrow?
I think we
definitely keep batting. Yeah,
that's
my call. Yeah, only 3 wickets left, and we can give Sipamla some time in the middle on debut, and Norkia and Ngidi some batting practice as well.
Might as well. That's true.
Vishwa Fernando halfway through his 30th over, he bowls now to Maharaj, gets in line with it, and that looks like it's gone off the pads there rather, and gone down to the boundary for just a 1 there. And Murray Rasmus showing us that it looked like it came off the legs there. 2 to come, 610 for 7 the score. Now Maharaj 64 from 97, and Nachi Norkia 0 from 1.
Let's see what Nokia can do here. What is his attitude going to be? Is he going to swing for the fences, or is he going to try and stay with Maharaj for another big partnership?
A class batsman like him. Here comes the double. Here comes the double, lads. Nokia facing up to Vishwa Fernando, who comes round the wicket to him, left arm round, and this one is just open the blade, does Nokia, and they don't get anything from it. Maharaj says, no, mate, no, thank you. 1 to come in this over, and we'll have a commentary change at the end of the over. It'll be Otto who will make way And Tsepo and Paul myself look like with the men for the job for the last hour and a half of today's play on day.
Being commentating machine, and I was gonna ask, oh, is that an appeal? It is.
Last ball of the over. Looks like a
Edge.
They've got Nokia. Absolutely, Nokia has been dismissed. He's edged it straight through to Niroshan Dikwela. Simple dismissal in the end. He's just kind of driven at a wild one there, and the faintest of edges. Dikwela getting the catch quite simply, and Vishwa Fernando has another scalp to his name. It was anticlimactic because Dikwela celebrated. We thought he might be celebrating just for hoping, but
one out
they got the wicket of Nokia there, and Mpo saying declaration coming now. I saw Ngidi there with some cricket shoes in his hand, and Stupamla is going to the crease now, is it?
They might well be his bowling spikes as opposed to his batting spikes. And Nokia's gone for Dak. Bowled Vishwa Fernando, caught Dikwela. He's gone just from the 3 deliveries that he has faced, and Sri Lanka having a drink.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, how's it?
Hello, Paul. Welcome back.
Yes, I just want to give Otto his final words for the day, and we can just say goodbye to him.
Thank you very much. This was lots of fun to watch South Africa well on top in a test match for a change. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the game, and I'll be tweeting and watching.
Yeah, see you tomorrow, Otto. Thank you. Yeah, so another wicket has fallen, guys. What's going on? You guys just seem to be taking wickets and breaking milestones.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to watch cricket and enjoy things here. I'm reading tweets. I'm asking Ravi to touch wood every time he says he's going to make it for double centuries, but he doesn't seem to do that. All he does is disappoint me, disappoint his wife, not getting her frozen yogurt. So come on, Ravi, expect better.
Dreadful. Luto Sipamla is the new man at the wicket. South Africa not declaring just yet. Just having a look at that replay. Just a flash by Anrich Nokia. He's throwing his hands out at it and simple take.
For a player of his caliber, there's no foot movement there whatsoever. Just nothing. Just like we expected so much more from him, eh?
I mean, what a gun cricketer. He actually nicked that one, by the way.
Yeah,
yes, he actually did.
Just for a change. Because, South Africans just walk these days. They hear, ears popping because of the altitude. I don't know. This one is slapped away by Maharaj, and they'll get through for the just single. Oh, rather misfield, and they get through for just the one again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sipamla with
611 for 8.
So I think the answer for South Africa has been made a little bit easier with Faf coming out and Anand coming out. Is just to let Sri Lanka bowl South Africa out, and then we'll just come back into the game. I do think maybe the final 30 minutes of the day they might want to do something. So, but outside of that, just the next hour is theirs for Sipamla and Keshav to make hay.
Hasaranga in again, and Sipamla. There's a big shot here for his wicket, and he's given in the end. Adrian Holstock gives Sipamla out. First ball on his debut.
The review, young man. Review, young man.
We've got 3.
He's
Review. No, he's shaking his head. He's off. And unfortunately...
Oh, he's reviewed it.
He's reviewed it. Yeah.
Oh, you reviewed it. Maharaj says you may as well, mate. There's nothing wrong with that. As
see, I love how he went to go consult with the senior batsman. Something that Timber should have done. But yeah.
3 reviews. So they're on offer.
This one I think could be going down leg. So let's just see how this one will work. Oh no, that's plum. That's plum.
That's out. Yeah, definitely
that's
out.
Plum. Through the gate. You can see how new Luto's bat is. He got a fresh piece of wood for this debut.
Social distancing between hat and pad.
Staying safe.
Yeah, lots of social distancing there.
Please maybe stay safe. Maybe.
No.
I don't know. Smacking the stumps.
It's hitting the bottom of middle.
It's gone under the stumps, gents. It's gone under the stumps.
All 3 reds. It's hitting impact in line and outs and hitting the leg stump. So it will be The ninth wicket for South Africa has fallen. Sapamla out without. I wouldn't say bothering the scorers because last week we were scoring and a duck really bothers you a lot. So yeah, he's out. LBW Hasaranga, who seemingly is bowling on a limp.
Golden duck in your debut game.
Imagine.
Actually, it brings in the man with the swag, the man who has lost so much weight. He's looking incredibly good right now. Lungi Ngidi. Just hope for some lusty blows. Is Keshav's chance of getting 100 out? Oh, yes. Mayura, for the past 2 days, he's been saying Hasaranga destroyed Sapamla's backside. And right now, he's the one with the last laugh because he got Sapamla's wicket. So well done, Mayura, on YouTube. Thank you very much for the prediction.
The man is working with bookies. I think Mayura is working with bookies. I don't know what's going on here.
But this was 2 days ago, dude. He's been calling for this even yesterday.
He's been planning it.
So if you didn't put money on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Lungi getting ready to help his partner out.
Yeah, here we go. Hasaranga bowling to Lungisani Ngidi. Leg slip, short leg in place, and he defends it. Nothing there, lads. Oh, yeah. Nothing there.
Hasaranga's figures are now 4 for 168. So
he's still hiding.
It is, but hey, it's been a tough day for Sri Lanka, man.
It really has. And for someone that's sorry about that, big quick ball by ball.
And again, and this one's just absolutely, yeah, great shot there.
Sorry about that. Just quickly wanted to throw in a comment. No, definitely one of the pick of the bowlers here. Debutants asked to take the ball for 43 overs, and not only did he tie up the ends to some extent, he also got
facing again in a lovely bit of form there from the South African number 11, but he doesn't want any runs from it. One to come.
We have a tweet here from Ravi Reddy saying this is going to be a somber date night. May need to get a Happy Meal on top of that frozen yogurt with my wife. Yeah.
You're going to get the cold shoulder, mate, if you're not careful. Hasaranga in again, and it's beating the bat there. Wow. Wonderful stuff there from the young leg spinner. That's the end of his 44th. South Africa 611 for 9.
This is encouraging signs for the bowling attack. I'm sure Lungi and
but we don't have a leg spinner, bro.
True.
But we do have a left-arm spinner, which is pretty much the same.
The same thing.
Same direction of turn.
Yeah, we just might need to get. It is, so the afternoon session taking 3 wickets for 46 runs at a run rate of 3.29. 14 overs have been bowled. The other 2 sessions in the day, 1 wicket apiece. But those run rates were very high, 4.72 and 4.48, respectively.
South Africa lead with 2-1-5 in the first test match at Supersport Park in Centurion. Remember, we will be bringing you every single bit of the second test from the Imperial Wanderers Stadium. And we look forward to that. But most importantly, we need a South African win here. And Maharaj will face the start of Vishwa Fernandez, 31st over, 2 for 122 rather. And as he's toiled here without options for bowlers, first ball comes in. It's a slow ball that goes down the leg side. Vishwa Fernandez, big smile on his face.
Mans is tired. You can just see that.
Fernandez or Kesh?
Vishwa Fernando. Kesh is actually both are tired. That shot looked very ordinary.
Exactly.
It was going down leg. He still wanted to have a swipe at that.
Absolutely. Vishwa Fernando in again, and he comes round the wicket, left arm, and Maharaj tries to think about pulling it, but ducks away from it in the end. 134 clicks.
Yeah. The other thing for South Africa now is obviously you have a lead of 215. We've seen so far that the bowlers haven't hit their straps, they haven't bowled in the right areas. And I think now's the time for them to put pressure on Sri Lanka and try get some early scalps towards the end of the day. And with Dharanjaya de Silva not batting and a whole host of injuries and a question of where everyone is going to bat, you might actually find yourself on a good end of having Sri Lanka in trouble by the end of the day.
Fernando in again, and that's a back of the hand delivery and misses everything, including the stumps, and goes through on a roll to Nirishan Dikwal. It's a wonderfully bold delivery there, but unfortunately not getting a prize for that hard work.
Line was slightly off there, just going down the leg side. Keshav, knowing that had it been a little bit straighter, he'd be gone 7 runs shy of his. Oh wow!
This is a full toss, and it's been lumped onto the embankment there. That's 6 runs. What a shot, young man.
So Keshav is now 1 run away from equaling his high score. And so let's see if he'll be able to do that. I hope I haven't put any of the
I was about
markers
to ask. No more talking about milestones.
It's going to happen. I'm not involved in this. I'm not playing a shot there.
No.
I have the blood of Faf on my hands, please.
I have the blood of Timber on my hands, but it's fine.
Ooh.
Swing
that
and a
next
miss.
one is a short one. Swiped at that one. That was a baseball type shot there from Keshav Maharaj, and he says, well after it, I don't know if he was saying sorry or he was saying no run. I'm not quite sure what that was for, but
we'll just give him the whole no run. The minus no run.
No run. He's just rubbing the bottom of his bat. His bat is definitely not used to spending this much time at the wicket. But nevertheless, Vishwa Fernando with 1 ball remaining in the 31st over. He's in again, and Keshav Maharaj lobs this into the air. Thankfully, it falls in no man's land, and I think they'll come through for the 1.
Double Nelson right now. Double Nelson lead, so feet up. Or do we put up our feet for a double Nelson lead?
I suppose so.
I'll put everything
on those 4 muscles.
So the last time he scored 72. Ooh, Keshav, 72, 72, 71. 72, the last time he got his high score was in Pune versus India last year. We won't talk much about that. And he also scored 71 in Port Elizabeth against England at the beginning of this year. So he's had a very good 2020. So he wouldn't want 2020 to end at all. He'd actually also want Lungingiri to just hold on for a little bit, and he'll try and get to some sort of a milestone at
Centurion.
Yeah, with some lusty blows.
Yeah,
absolutely. Lungingiri is thankfully not on strike as Maharaj faces the first ball of this Hasaranga over. He swipes at it and goes down to long on, and he'll get a single.
There's the high score, but now you have Hasaranga with 5 balls to Ngidi. I'm not too sure if he'll be able to survive these.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to this game anymore. I thought Algo was going to get 100, nothing. I thought Faf was going to get a double, nothing. I thought Markram was going to get 100, nothing.
We keep saying nothing as if
now
they
once
get
again,
half
there's
century.
men around the bat and defended, but beats the bat does Hasaranga of Zavangiri. But yes, I mean, you're so close to milestones, you may as well get there.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
A Jaffa delivery there. He's beaten everything. Yeah. He's beaten the bat, beaten the stumps. Wonderful stuff there. In again, and he just drives that does Ngidi no run.
Mayura on YouTube says Maharaj will be a Ben Stokes.
Ooh. We have a few tweets coming in here. One from Ravi saying, declare already! 3 exclamation points. That's what I'm counting.
Hasaranga in again, and that's a drop catch, it looks like. Ngidi's lobbed it to a man who wasn't walking in at mid-wicket. Looks like it dropped short there, or was there still a chance there?
It dropped short, and that's why Maharaj has to come down the wicket to tell his junior partner that, hey, dude, can we at least try and help me out here?
Please,
Hasaranga in once again. Leg slip, man under the helmet and defends. Does Ngiti. Those tweets, Tsepo.
Yes, Ravi was saying that's Hasaranga 5 for loading. So hopefully, Ravi's jinx could work for the Sri Lankans as well. Yeah, that's what we need. Let's speak about some more milestones. Sri Lanka also have milestones to get, guys. So yeah.
Ngidi in, or to face rather, and this has worked between the leg slip and the man at short leg. Ngidi's looking like he might get a couple of runs here as
Very
they
classy
jog
shot.
through. Wonderful
Very
stuff there
classy.
from South Africa's number 11, and that
Played
is
on
the
the
end
front foot,
of the
around the
over.
pad, shaped it very nicely, and it's gone for 2. Mayura saying Hasaranga is going to destroy another backside. I'm assuming he speaks of Ngidi. As we've got the drinks break, so we can tweet all the way. Tepo.
Yeah, we basically covered all the tweets here. We just have one reply to Ravi Reddy's comments from the Yellow Cap Sports, just a cheeky yeah, for the jinxing of Hasaranga. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. That one.
It's just the A's. That's like a banana. So many A's. But hey, you got to work with it, man. This is what we're here for.
So South Africa 629, 21 for 9. Really impressed by that lower middle order. It came through. It came through again. Time and time again, that lower middle order, even in the period of the past 2 years, Dave, where South Africa found themselves in holes, that lower middle order has found a way to eke out runs to try and help. Yes, it hasn't been big runs like today, but it's always kind of given the bowler something to bowl to. Today, we're sitting with a wealth of runs.
Absolutely, it's something that South Africa, as far back as the Mickey Arthur era, where their plans were 300 with the top 6, and 7 and below need to come up with 100, and we've seen that 300, if you will, lacking from the top 6, and now when both work in tandem, it's wonderful to see what can come of it. I know that was kind of Mickey Arthur's plan, was in any conditions 400 is a good score in Test cricket, and if you can get one in the top 6 getting 100, you know you're a third of your way on there to that 300 mark.
Even if you come in with a 400 and you have a deficit, there's an opportunity for you to come back and bowl teams out cheaply to give yourself an opportunity to win the game in the 4th innings, which will be hard, but it's something that always just keeps you in the game and gives you within a shout of even not losing a match. And I think the one thing that I loved about today is that this team will learn how to win a test match. The whole aim is to bat once and bat big, and then the second one is always, if you can't do that, give yourself a score above close to 400, so you can always be in the game. You can never, because if you're playing in the 280s like we've been doing since India series, it's very hard for us to post to win games.
Absolutely wonderful stuff. We were just watching a couple of the highlights of Keshav Maharaj's 73 not out, 6 4s, and those 2 6s from the full tosses he's been given. So never easy to come into a test setup and face the kind of bowlers that he has. But nevertheless, he's not missed out when he's been given the opportunity today. Speaking of people who've missed out, Rassie van der Dussen, we said that he was, set up wonderfully here to come in and score big. He didn't. Alarm bells just yet or not?
No, I'm not calling. I think everyone's calling the alarm bells because obviously when you have a scorecard like this, you'll always look at the guys who didn't score. Rassie's bats in the top order for his franchise, and he's been one of the better batsmen across the different formats for South Africa over the past 18 months. So I don't understand why we would be dropping him just yet, or looking to move him off. I do think once Faf retires, I don't know when that will be. I hope sometime in the future, because the man looks good and he's batting really nicely. He might move to number 4, and you'll give that number 3 opportunity to one of the newer guys coming into setup, like Ian Peterson or Reinhard van Tonder. But don't give him an opportunity. We're back live.
Vishwa Fernando, left arm over the wicket to Keshav Maharaj. That's skied high in the air. There's a man under it, and he takes it, and it looks very uncomfortable there for him. And that is the end of the South African innings. 621 all out. Maharaj goes for 73, and Ngiti 2 from 9. The lead is 225, and it's all done, gents.
Yes, so it is all done. We have a 10-minute changeover. So in that 10 minutes, we can chat, we can discuss, we can talk about what we've seen and the state of play. But before that, Dave, can you give us the scorecard, the South African scorecard, and what Sri Lanka went through as well?
Let me get that going for you. South Africa, a stark batting performance compared to what we have seen before lockdown. I know South African fans were lamenting, as we were on commentary, the lack of performance from the South Africans. Let's go through the innings. Dean Elgar and Ed Markram opened the batting. The first man to go was Markram for 68 from 94 deliveries. He was caught. Shanaka bowled Fernando. Dean Elgar caught and bowled Shanaka on 95, agonizingly short of that milestone. Rassie van der Dussen wasn't around for very long, only 42 deliveries for his 15 caught. Dikwela bowled Kumara. Faf du Plessis, the man who took us from good to great in this innings, 199, and again agonizingly short of that double ton. Karunaratne taking the simple catch off De Silva's bowling. Faf du Plessis came, not Faf du Plessis, Quinton de Kock rather, came and went with a flurry of boundaries, and then he was dismissed by De Silva, caught Theramane, the substitute, at slip. Temba Bavuma batted really well with Faf du Plessis to get to his 71 from 125. He was caught Dikwela by Shanaka. Vian Mulder was handy, but underwhelming somewhat with his 36 from 63, but a good foil for Faf du Plessis when Bavuma was dismissed. Keshav Maharaj with his career best of 73 from 106. In the end, caught by De Silva, bowled Fernando. Anrich Nokia, he came and went without adding to the score. Caught Dikwela, bowled Fernando. And Luta Supamla on his debut was golden duck, leg before wicket by De Silva. Let's go through the bowling. Vishwa Fernando, 31.1 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 129. Kasun Rajita was the man who was injured quite early, only bowled 2.1 overs and conceded 16 runs in his. Dasun Shanaka, 28.5 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 98. Wanindu Hasaranga on debut, a mammoth effort from him, 45 overs, 5 maidens, 4 for 171. Lahiru Kumara, 1 for 103 in his 21.1. And Dimuth Karunaratne, 6.5 overs bowled, because remember, he's making up for others that are injured. And 0 for 36 from his time bowling. Kusal Mendes, 7 overs, 0 for 41. And South Africa will be very happy with that go. They're batting in.
Yes. Look, I was really happy that Wanindu came back from that injury and kept on bowling to help his team out. And that's what you want to see. The character of the Sri Lankan team has been very good in and amongst those injuries. You know, it's been very tough for them. It's been a tough first test, and they don't have the ability to bring players through into the bubble in South Africa because of obviously the various COVID protocols from Sri Lanka. So it's quite tough as we see the light roller being used. I think Sri Lanka don't need the pitch to be giving the bowlers a lot more assistance there. Look, I think what do you guys take if you're Sri Lanka? What's your thing for today? Just try not to lose wickets and expose the middle order and lower order that has a lot of injuries.
It's about staying in overnight. That's the key of the game. The only way you could actually get the runs that you need is if you're actually still in to face the delivery. So, especially with this pitch, hopefully the South Africans will get a decent, disciplined bowling display going to put pressure on the Sri Lankans. And their job is basically just to stay in. They have enough time to get the runs. They just stay in and make sure that this match doesn't run away with them. From them, rather. And we also have a few tweets that slipped through the cracks. My mistake, guys. When I read Ravi's initial tweet on Keshav Maharaj, he did say that Keshav would get his highest score. And what did Uncle Ravi tell us? He told us that he did. And you know what? You're right. By 1 run. Got a few replies to that. Just a cheeky heh 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 heh. Also got some replies from the Yellow Cap Sports. He laughed at the Uncle Ravi part. And then it's just correcting the tweets that I missed. And just some compliments there from Ravi once again. Awesome. Great to hear the live streaming commentary on YouTube. And those are the tweets that we have.
And did you guys just see that SuperSport's got to have the Super Smash in New Zealand live on our TV screens?
Oh,
which is very fascinating. It'll be the first time we see New Zealand cricket, domestic cricket. Well, I do think SuperSport's on this drive to get all T20 cricket on TV since we might be going into another lockdown.
Don't say that, Mpo. I don't want to hear that. No more lockdowns.
What must happen, Dave? We people are dying out here.
People are dying, Dave.
I don't know.
We're smacking peaks like we're trying to climb mountains out here. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but it's good that there's still sport, though.
It's a challenging one because there's the whole balance that comes into it of economics versus health risks. And obviously, I think if we go into another lockdown, so South African sport will be affected by the lockdown. And I know that we saw some of the smaller federations that were struggling during lockdown. I don't know how many South African sports will survive another lockdown.
Okay, no, that's true, and I think that's the one sad part about the lockdown was that South African sport, especially amateur and lower level sport, kind of took a financial drain essentially, and none of the players were being helped. There was a grant there, but I think that's going to be interesting. But let's move off of lockdowns and move into the game.
Yes.
South Africa needs
an interesting fact, Chef.
Yes.
Interesting fact from Andrew Sampson. Ravi retweeted this one to us. Sri Lanka became the first team to have 5 bowlers with a part over in the bowling figures in test innings. Fernando 31.1, Rajita 2.1, Shanaka 28.5, Kumara 21.1, and Kunaratne 6.5. That's a very interesting fact.
But what? So obviously South Africa need to come out guns blazing. They need to, even though they have the lead, they can't just waste it, because obviously the non-injured players in Sri Lanka's team are 1, 2, 3, 5, and 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 is injured now. Also, Shanaka will come in at 6. So there's a few guys, and the Sri Lankan team are tired. So it's just about putting pressure onto them. Bowling that full length, allowing the ball to seam off this wicket and to the wicket to do what it needs to do. It's gonna be quite interesting. Just a quick check for you guys. Are you guys seeing the visuals of the team starting to walk out onto the field?
Yes, I'm seeing
yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So Dave will be working off of your signal. South Africa are back for the third innings of this match. And South Africa lead by 225 after that mammoth 621. When was the last time we saw 600 being scored? That was New Year's Test 2016. That brought a Temba Bavuma century as well. In that was 4 go. It's now going to be 5 years in a couple of days' time. So that was very good to see. So South Africa in the driving seat. Gents, how many runs do you think South Africa will be able to bowl Sri Lanka out without needing to bat again?
No. Well, yeah, maybe.
I think so. If they just hit the right lengths, if they use the surface is offering a lot, especially in those cracks there. We have lots of pace behind us. And this is a perfect deck for pace. Tons of variation, and as long as Keshav Maharaj just ties up one end, as long as we keep disciplined and we're not wayward, yeah, we'll do great. And we saw Sapamla hitting his straps at the beginning of yesterday, getting those right lengths, getting those dangerous lengths, getting that variable bounce. And I don't think that the Sri Lankan lineup will be able to take that on. I mean, the men down here as well. So it's our game or it's South Africa's game to lose. It's just about discipline.
And so the new batsman.
Yes, Kusal Pereira and Dimith Karunaratne are the opening pair for this Sri Lankan innings. And the man who will start us off here with the ball, Lungi Ngidi, aged just 24. He's still very young in his career, but he's done so much greatness from the start that he has. He's got 3 slips in a gully waiting, a man under the helmet. He comes right arm around, and the first ball is tucked away off the hips, and Heinrich Nokia does the fielding out there in the deep, and they come through for 1.
Yes, it's just an easy ball to just let go as a loosener. You just want him to just be consistent, and this right-left hand partnership might be a problem for the South African bowlers, but there's no reason for you. It's no reason for you not to be able to be as consistent, bowling it full in that 4th, 5th jump channel, drawing the batsman forward, making the batsman consider playing or not. He's got 3 slips, a gully, fielder at point, and a mid-wicket on the offside.
Ngidi in once again, and it's a much better length from Ngidi, and he gets plenty of praise from his men in the slips because they are much happy with that. 83 miles an hour, just 1 run so far on the scoreboard.
Yes, Ngidi averages 27 in his fledgling international career after 6 matches, having taken 16 wickets, 154 with a best of 6 for 39.
Who's his bowling partner, Tsepo? Who are we going for, Nokia or Sipamla?
Oh, I'm thinking Nokia gets lots of pace. I'd actually prefer Sapamla though.
Ngidi in again, and it's one that jags back into the left-hander, but there's lots of noise around the Sri Lankan batsman, the man under the helmet, in the ear of Kusal Pereira there.
Yeah, yes, Tsepo?
I was thinking Sapamla would probably be the better bet. Trust him with the new ball once again, get his confidence up. Best bowler of the last innings, so I think he's probably going to open on the other side. And then Nokia first change.
It's really lovely when you're bowling with a brand new cherry from the Henops River end.
We have a tweet here from D. Was only a matter of time.
Once again, sorry, Tsepo. This one jags back again. And there's a smile from Ngidi as he stares down Pereira.
Yes. Good. Tsepo?
Sorry about that. The tweet from D was only a matter of time. This is a reply to Ravi Reddy's comment on Keshav Maharaj getting his highest. Only a matter of time. He's a much better batsman than his stats suggest. And Yano is a great cricketer. Great cricketer. But sorry about that, Umpo, you were saying?
No, I'm just saying that it's good to see that Ngidi's getting the ball to shape, to seam into the left-handed batsman. I'm just hoping that he can get one to straighten a bit and make the batsman play.
He's in again, and he's hit that hip of Kusal Pereira, and there's big noise around. South Africans obviously looking forward to taking a wicket early here. I didn't see who was under the helmet there. That's a face that doesn't look familiar. Is that Calvarena under the helmet?
Short, yeah. Short, long sleeves.
Oh, that hit the elbow. Ow.
Then who would be off?
Faf.
The field.
Or is he not at second slip? I'm not sure.
It looks like he's at second slip.
So Vanadison at first. Second looks like Faf, and
it's Aiden.
It's Aiden rather at second. So it must be Faf. So Barena under the helmet. End of that first over, just 1 from it's Sri Lanka, 1 for no.
Yeah. So let's see. So you're saying, Tsepo, that the partner here should be Luto.
Cleaned up the innings nicely towards the end and give him the new ball. We gave it to him last time. Why change the plan now is my thing. But it looks like it's Heinrich Nortje on the other end.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the plan might be from the Sri Lankans here to face a bit of trial by short balls, because we know that they're not.
Wouldn't that be a waste of the new ball, banging it in short?
I don't know. I think it might be use the ball while it's still hard, because as this pitch will deteriorate over today and tomorrow, it's not going to get any easier to bowl short pitch bowling as.
But you have a new cherry though.
That's why you got to make use of it while it's still hard. Nortje in again, right arm around the wicket, and it's worked off the pads down to the man at fine leg, Lungi. A bit of a fumble there, but hands on heads from Markram.
No, I disagree, Dave. I honestly think you need to try and see if you can't get any assistance from the pitch by being able to draw the batsman or obviously use some short balls here and there in your set that you're bowling in your spell, but not all the time. None of this body line short ball, because all the subcontinental teams now are very good playing short balls. It's no longer like a myth that if you come from the subcontinent, you can't play short balls. We've seen that with India. We've seen that now with Sri Lanka in the last series that we played against them. And so I really do think you are playing into their half if you play a short ball.
Right arm around the wicket here, and this one goes past the hip of Kusal Perera. He's still yet to get off the mark. He's shaking his arm because it's the one that got hit by Lungi in the previous over. 90 miles now. It's rather Keshav Maharaj who's been off the park.
Well, no, there's two people now. Sarah Advir, and I'm assuming
Reynard van Tonder.
Is it Reynard van Tonder as well?
Yes, he's under the helmets.
Okay. Right. And Nortje in again for his third, and this hits the bat quite hard there as Nortje is looking to get going. 142 clicks from that last one. A bit of noise there from the man under the helmet. He's got to take whatever time he can get on the park and make some noise while he's there.
Look, he has a test kit with RVT on it, so it's his. He's not giving it back at the end of the day.
100%.
And it's also got a shirt number behind him as well. So
an official number.
You know,
he just doesn't have a cap number. This one is full of this time from Nortje, who just gets a defensive shot from Perera. Two to come.
But just going on to what the plan should be, what you guys were speaking about earlier, I'm agreeing with Umpo. Let's hit that line and length. Let's get that discipline going, because it's not just about this test. It's not just about a subcontinental batting. It's about the long game here. I want to see a South African team that's consistent, that's strong, that's focused. And you can do the short balls a little later. You're wasting the new ball.
Nortje in once again. He's got three slips waiting. There's a waft at that one by Perera, and a menacing look there from Nortje as he turns around to go back to the top of his mark.
Yeah, that's much better. And
to play devil's advocate to both of you, I think the risk that you run with that is that they know that they need to bat long, and it's 3/4 of the way through, well, almost the end of day 3, and there's day 4 and 5. They could just leave those balls that you are saying, well, let's bowl outside the off stump. No, again, this is driven hard at by Perera, and that'll race to the boundary 4-4.
That was full and wide. He reached for that one, but it was all timing there, just letting a bat come through, and he stroked it very nicely.
We have a tweet here from the Jersey Oak. He says that Sri Lanka may bat for a day and a half and leave a cheeky 150 to get. Lots of predictions here from Jersey Oak. I like to see that. What do you guys think? Do you think they'll meet the deficit?
It's possible because their top 4 are not injured. They're not injured. They can do exactly what South Africa did. And that's what we need to be wary about, which is why you don't want a complacent approach his bowling attack. You want them to hit their straps, to push Sri Lanka as much as possible, and make this top or send this top order back so they can question themselves as to who comes in next because they're all injured.
Ngidi round the wicket to start his second, and it's just pushed it hard by Karunaratne to defend that one, and Ngidi collects it himself.
Because the last thing you want is an opening stand of 100, taking up half of this lead, because then you find yourself in a situation because you don't want to bat here and try get 150 on this pitch on either day 4 or 5.
Absolutely, and this is clearly a track that you could end up having that be the case. And Ngidi is steaming in once again, round the wicket to Karunaratne. There's a waft at it, a short and wide delivery, but nothing connects there, and Quinton de Kock gleefully accepts. Thank you.
Well, it seems that we're just leaving it just outside, and Karunaratne will play at it. Much like in the first innings, they don't look like they're going to take their foot off the gas here. They want the runs to come quickly. They want to bat with flair. And it doesn't look like they're going to be changing their game anytime soon.
Yeah, so far, there aren't any balls that are beating the bat in that 4th, 5th stump channel, trying to square the batsman up.
Ngidi in again, and this one has trapped him on the pads, but it would have missed everything, including the leg stump there. So just a bit of maybe that's what we should be going after, tackling the legs. A guy like Karunaratne, you see, he starts well outside leg stump, but that's, I think, why South Africa are looking to get him there, because he's come across and he almost overcommits with that front foot coming across his stumps, and that's when you get one that just nips back and you get trapped leg before.
Getting the leg before into play with around the wicket, yeah?
Absolutely. And Ngidi halfway through his second, South Africa with that lead, and Sri Lanka still trailing by 219 runs, a 6 without loss. This one is driven, but it's beaten the man that was close in, Vian Mulder, and that'll race away to the boundary here for 4.
Good timing. It was over pitched. It was a half volley, and Kusal Pereira just climbing into that very nicely. It was Dimuth Karunaratne there. Apologies. Good foot movement. Not a lot of overcommitting needed. You just need to just get into your stride, make sure your front foot is set, and let the rest of your mechanics follow through. And that's possibly straight out of the textbook there, Dave.
Absolutely, that's a wonderful bit of work there. But it's something that Brian Lara was talking about quite recently, about how the Australians were getting out, and you saw it slightly there, is that cricketers, I'll tell you after this delivery, this one is shorter and a much better length from Ngidi, and applause from his skipper behind. So Brian Lara talks about you cannot play a shot unbalanced. And a couple of times the Australians, and I think the Indians have been guilty of it, is the heel is touching the ground, but the toes aren't flat. The foot isn't flat when playing the shot. And what happens is that when you're not set in a base, you're still kind of getting your balance when playing the shot, and often that's where you see guys nick off, or you see guys get trapped in front, because their foot needs to come to the ball before the bat. But this one's just absolutely come back and castled him. He's got him.
On.
Ngidi with the first stick there. Karunaratne has been bowled. South Africa in the game.
Yes, and Ngidi's been threatening that ball, jagging back in. And he finally got one with the right length, just enough to disturb that off stump and break through the defenses of Karunaratne there. And very, very good bowling from the South African, hitting the outside of the off stump. And it's a question of where is your off stump, and this is the ball that I've been asking for. And it's not the top of off, but it's off nonetheless.
Wonderful.
That's something that we've been mentioning. The pitch, you get a lot from the pitch, that variable bounce. As you can see, it's snuck under the bat there. Normally, you'd expect a lot more bounce. A lot of the balls were hitting him on his hip, hitting him quite high. But this one just stayed nice and low. And that's the value that you're getting if you just hit that consistent line. And Lungi's got it. He was on the money there, smacking off stump. And that's what we love to see, bringing LBW into play, bowled into play. If you miss, I hit. Love to see it.
Yeah, wonderful. I know. With 45 minutes left, Dimuth Karunaratne is out for 6. He's out for 6 off 8 balls, 1-4 to his name, and a strike rate of a 75. And that brings in Kusal Mendes, who showed us that he can also bowl some leg spinners there earlier on today with all the injuries happening. So we've got the 2 Kusals at the crease, gentlemen. Yeah, so that's a good start for South Africa with 45 minutes left in the day.
Absolutely, imports one that the South Africans would be desperate for, and they've gotten exactly that. And the Sri Lankans here have got to make sure that they see out this last 45, like you mentioned, and not to worry about anything to do with score. They can come out and bat with perhaps more intent in the morning, but this last passage of play is going to be a game changer. 45 matches for Kusal Mendes. He is now facing up to, well, he's rather at the non-strikers in his Arnold Nokia bowls an absolute bullet, 144 clicks, and it is Kusal Pereira rather who has to face up to this 90 miles an hour, gentlemen. I think Nokia is going to crack it up here.
And as obviously we were talking about in that, and if you look at that wicket, it went underneath the bat there. If it was conventional bounce that the batsman was prepared for, it would have come off the middle and probably gone past it for 4.
Nokia in again, and this one is carved through the backward point region. There's nobody home, and that'll race away to the boundary for 4.
Yes, a proper shot there, just leaning back. It's quick, and all you just need to do is just wait for it. And some great timing, played it very late, and good hands there to get it out to that deep backward point boundary.
Kusal Mendes not going to die wondering here. You know, he's the kind of batsman who will come to the wicket and go after the bowlers. And with a new ball at his disposal and Nokia bowling wheels. Let's have a look at this one. He's just flicked this off with the pad. He beats the man at short leg. He beats the man at fine leg. And 4 runs there. What a shot, gentlemen.
Yes, just capitalizing on bad balls. Anrich Nokia straying so much there, making it easy, giving Pereira a leg stump half volley. And he will be, and Pereira just saying thank you very much for that half volley.
Too many freebies, gentlemen. Just too many freebies. We need to be building pressure, and that's just not good enough. One quite wide wayward on the offside, now on the leg side. Let's just focus on getting it straight.
Nokia over the wicket this time, and it's just defended back up the pitch. And it looks like Markram's having a discussion with the fielders. Wonder if he's vice captain for this game.
No, but Dave, here's the other thing on the captaincy thing. I think those players, if I was one of those players on the cusp of captaincy, you know, yes, they've scored runs, yes, they're good. I'd actually want to show my leadership on the field so, you know, that the management can back me even though the runs may not be flowing.
Absolutely. Nokia in once again. He's got 2 to bowl in this over. It's a much fuller delivery and onto the pads there. But he just watches that mindfully, does Kusal Pereira. Ngidi should be very happy with himself because
he is already drenched. His shirt is already drenched.
Absolutely. Oh. We saw his when he got the wicket, he pointed to Charl Langeveld, the South African bowling consultant, because obviously there was a plan that came one that bore fruit. So clearly South Africans happy with the planning that's come out for them.
Woo. Got a cheeky
Nokia in again, and this is smashed through the covers. Kusal Pereira with a strong arm punch. What a shot.
Yeah, really struggling right arm over. First ball, he's bowled right arm over, and we see why he's been coming around the wicket to the left-handers because of the fact that he gives them a little bit of width with that angle, and all Pereira needs is just timing. Doesn't even need to set his feet. It's literally just bring the bat down and play that with your eyes rather than using your mechanics to get you through the shot.
Expensive stuff from Nokia as he's gone for 17 from just his 2 overs. And South Africa will definitely need to be mindful of that. 22 for 1 are the Lankans. The man to go, Dimith Karunaratne. Kusal Pereira, 16 from 16. And he's got Kusal Mendes for support. And a couple of clouds gathering there at Supersport Park, but nothing that looks too menacing at all. As Ngiti starts his next over, this one jags back into the right hand as the 3 slips applaud loudly, and there's a bit of noise once again in the ear of the Sri Lankan batsman.
We have a tweet here from Otto asking, Dave, were you the one that called Keshav 73? Vrachtig.
It wasn't me. I cannot take credit for that. I said he was going to get out for 99. It was just Faf that was the one who was guilty of one short of a milestone. Wonderful bit of bowling to dismiss Dimith Karunaratne in the end there. But Ngiri's back and he passes the umpire now. This one is driven off the toes. On his toes, Kusal Mendes. And that's only the second delivery that he's faced.
Yes, it's very important now. Obviously, Ngiti's now gotten a right-hander, so he needs to make sure that obviously strike doesn't change. Bowl to a plan, just keep Kusal Mendes on your end so you can set him up nicely there.
Absolutely. And Ngiti's just conceded 5, where his partner's been a little bit more expensive. He comes in once again, passing Adrian Holstock, and he's beaten the bat there. Wonderful delivery from the South African speedster.
Yeah, very good delivery from the South African speedster. Otto replying, saying, then it must have been Ravi Red who said he would score 1 more than his previous best, and he with a 73 and an exclamation mark.
Absolutely. Halfway through this Ngiti over, South Africa definitely want to steal a second, even possibly a third one here before the end of today's play.
Yes, it's for you to be greedy, but also bowl with some control.
Mm-hmm. Ngiti in again, and this one's hit the pads, and it looks like it's skewed out, but it's rather hit the leading edge of the bat. Big smile there from the South African fast man.
He's getting it to shape in to the right-hander. As he was, remember the ball was dragging away into the left-hander. Now Ngiti's getting it to shape in off the seam into the right-hander. The last one was a little bit more straighter there, and that's why it got the leaning edge. I think if it slightly went past that off stump, it would have probably been an edge to slip.
Van Tonder, if he takes a catch here at short leg, and if it's a screamer, never forgotten ever again. This one is caught at first slip. Rassie van der Dussen, Ngiti gets the edge, and South Africa have 22 for 2.
And as I was saying, setting him up. Lungi started the over with the ball outside the channel of the off stump, and then he came on with a few balls coming closer and closer to that off stump, testing the Mendes' defenses there. And the previous ball got a leaning edge. This one had Kusal Mendes on his back foot, no foot movement, trying to defend it. And he could have let it go, but because he doesn't know where his off stump is, he had to play at that, even though it was a little bit high, and he gets that edge to first slip. And Ngiti gets a second wicket. Very good wicket from the South African speedster. Incredible piece of fast bowling. He is on the money. The news of Kagiso Rabada seemingly has Ngiti fired up, which is something you want to see, Coach Dev.
Yes, I was being maligned for taking wickets during the South African innings. Now I've taken 2 quick sticks, and everyone's happy with me again. I mean, I can't win. I'm here to take wickets. I'm not discriminate when it comes to whose wicket I take. South Africa are right back in this game. I mean, they weren't really out, but it was an opportunity for the Lankans to come to the fore. Simple catch in the end for Rassie van der Dussen, a man who made another slip catch and look a lot more difficult than it was, at much better form from the South African number 3.
Well, compared to that last catch, I think it was yesterday with the wicket, the final wicket, where he was juggling it. This one coming straight into the midriff, and it was working out very nicely. Tsepo, you come back to second wicket for South Africa. The new batsman in is Dinesh Chandimal, another right-hander. We're just going to look at Chandimal's stats here as it goes on. But South Africa really putting the foot to the pedal. Chandimal's played 58 matches, 105 innings. He's also one of that 4,000 crowd in this test match, 3,962 runs at an average of 41.27, 19 50s, 11 hundreds with a top score of 164 against India in Delhi in 2017.
Absolutely.
Quality batsman coming in here.
Absolutely, a man who's been around for a long time for the Sri Lankans, but Ngidi's going to get him first ball here. I called it. He's coming in, and this one is just wide of the man under the dome there. As Lucius Pamla has to go from it on to collect it, and they come through for 2.
Do you think Faf's in an ice bath right now?
Oh, he must be. He must be. He must be batted for what, 4 or 5 hours?
It was 5 hours. So I would assume he's sitting. It was actually close to 6 hours actually, because I think 5 hours it was at about 140.
40 so he ends up getting dismissed for 199. Big celebrations from the South Africans with that last wicket, and everyone is happy with everyone. And it's a much looks like a much more settled South African lineup rather than one that's disjointed in some way. Chandimal 2 from 1. Kusal Pereira 16 from 16. Sri Lanka 24 for 2. Early trouble here for the Lankans.
Yes, very much so, Dave. And the Sri Lankan physiotherapist is out again, looking at the calf of Dinesh Chandimal. Another injury happening today.
He just walked to the wicket. What can be sore?
that
for 200
Who knows?
Are you whining that you're sore?
It's the altitude. It's the altitude that's smacking the calves. That's the problem. We also have a tweet here from Ravi, the heavy roller, saying the man of the match for Sri Lanka had to be the Sri Lankan physiotherapist. And I agree 100%. This man has been working overtime just to make sure that Sri Lanka get through this match. But what could be the reason for all of these injuries? This is not normal.
It's a lack of preparation. It's a lack of preparation. They've been in South Africa for about 2 weeks. They haven't been able to train for about, I'm assuming, a week. And so, because if I look at the way the Proteas had done their setup, they were only allowed to train as a group from last week, Tuesday. But the team had staggered practices only from the start of last week, Sunday. So it isn't much. And the good thing about for some of the players in South Africa is that everyone in South Africa played in a 4-day match this series outside of the guys who were playing in the IPL, being Faf and Quinton de Kock, who are obviously fully fit. So Sri Lanka, yes, the players have been playing in the Lankan Premier League and they were in a bubble. They've come to South Africa and in a bubble. They've had to sit in their hotel rooms for a certain amount of days while the tests were being done and making sure that they do not have COVID. And so this is another, I think it's a result of COVID, because 2 weeks of preparation should be enough to make sure that your squad is fit and there's not a lot of niggles going around. And if there are niggles, you can bring people in, and you can't bring people in because of the COVID protocols at a national level. So it's just very unfortunate for the away team. And they needed some warm-up games to get them through. I see India played a warm-up game against Australia A to get them going through. That would have worked. That would have helped Sri Lanka a little bit more if they came slightly a week earlier to prepare and do it. But obviously, because everyone's trying to, around the world, trying to cram cricket into this back-end period of the year, because everyone was in lockdown around the world. It's a little bit tough for them, and this sadly is something that the Sri Lankans will have to take, and they were always on the back foot. This is just digging the hole even further.
Right, finally, after that injury break, Nortje rather starts his third over, and that one is back of a length and just darted out into the offside as Maharaj is back on the field. So that means Arvia is no longer with us, but good to see South Africa able to use their 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th man, because, Sri Lanka's 12th, 13th, 14th men have played more than, a lot of their team in this test match. But lot of fielding.
Yeah, Anrik getting an opportunity to bowl to a right-hander now, so he'll probably be very happy about that.
Absolutely. He's at the top of his mark. He starts and he's got the red Kookaburra turf in his hands, passing Erasmus now, and that goes through to the keeper. No run.
Yeah, just he hasn't been on the money so far in the spell, and I think looking at the way Lungi bowled so far, there could be a possibility that Anrich gets dropped for the next test if Luto Supamla comes back for his spell and bowls a little bit better.
That next one there from Anrich Nokia is just forced Chandimal just to fend at it and goes between third slip and gully and races away to the boundary for 4.
Yes, very good edge there. A bad ball from it actually wasn't an edge; it was a really controlled shot there. Bad ball from Anrich Nokia.
Bad ball again as that bumper goes over the top of Quinton de Kock, and there's another boundary. Nokia is unhappy with himself, and rightfully he should be.
It's unnecessary runs here, gentlemen. Just unnecessary runs. Let's just get line and length. It feels like he's just bowling too hard. He wants it too much. That's the thing.
Look, I do think that his natural length is slightly shorter than the traditional test match length that's required on the high felt. But I've seen him bowl those balls before in domestic cricket. So I don't get why. Obviously, it'll be a little bit tougher to get guys to bowl that extra yard closer to the wicket, because obviously that might change much. But I'm just really disappointed that he's not doing that consistently, rather than deferring to short. He's reminding me of the one who went on Kolpak.
Hardus for you.
Many of the other ones.
Hamza Safir is saying hi guys on Facebook, and this one's a leg stump half volley, and that goes down to the fine leg region. Thankfully, Lungi Ngidi is there. Dwayne Pretorius, Dwayne Olafir,
Dwayne Olafir, yes.
End of that Nokia over. Sri Lanka 34 for 2.
Dwayne Olafir. That's a name that I was hoping to hear a lot more of, and then he just sort of left, man.
You see, with Dwan, South Africa used him as an enforcer. So to come in to bowl short, he came in second change, and his natural length was always short, and he bothered the batsman a lot. Here, it's likely, and the problem we had with Dwan was his fuller length ball was very loopy, and it was easier for the batsman to play that. Whereas in this case, slightly different, where Nokia's natural
starting his next over, and this one's driven through the covers. The chase here for Vian Mulder. Is he going to pull it in? Yes, just at the last moment there. Wonderful.
Oh, he does.
Wonderful stuff there. Wonderful stuff there from Vian Mulder.
Yes, and so I think for me that's the one thing, because so far in Nokia's Test career, I think he's only played a handful. I think 3 matches. This is his third. He's been used he's being used as an enforcer with the short ball as his stock ball, but as an opening bowler, we'd like to see a little bit more skill. Similar to what Lungi's showing, bowl it a lot fuller, try get the ball to seam, try aim to land the ball on the seam, because normally that gives you something. I know it's hard, and it's but that's where I think his fast bowling education needs to get to.
This next one by Lungi Ngidi is hit into the covers, and it's a misfield by Lucha Supamla, and he has to do a lot of work to recover from that fumble. He should be apologizing to his fast bowling partner there. Just having a look at it. It was driven out on a bit of a punch into the covers, and it should have been a simple stop from Lucha Supamla rather, but he's just fumbled that one.
Yeah, he just couldn't get behind the ball enough. But it's a good punch from Kusal Pereira, and just letting the pace come off the bat. Don't hit too hard.
Ngidi in again, and this one's slashed at, but it's dropped short there of Vian Mulder. Markram's being very vocal in this in the second innings, Mpho. A lot more
Like
than
I
I
said.
think we would normally be used to.
Like I said, wouldn't you want to be vocal if you were looking to get a test captaincy and guarantee yourself 10 years in this test side, traveling around the world?
Exactly.
Unquestioned.
Exactly. And that's
Absolutely.
the problem. That's why Quinton de Kock, I think, got the nod, because his spot is secure. He's not going to be going anywhere. And it wasn't necessarily about who's the best captain, but I mean, who can we rely on that will always be in the team? And
Yes,
you don't
so-
just want the captain in as a captain, you know?
No, that's true. That is very true.
Ngidi in again, round the wicket. 3 slips and a man under the helmet. This is driven square of the wicket. That'll race away to the boundary. 4 runs.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Just leant back and played that very nicely. Good timing. Kusal Pereira is seemingly finding the middle of the bat early on in this innings. A really good shot there. And South Africa, 37, was it 44, 40? How much is that? 43 for 2 after 6 overs, a run rate of 6.71. Some serious questions needed to be asked by these opening bowlers, and obviously with Kagiso Rabada looming all over this team with his return, it's going to be fascinating who doesn't get the nod at the end of it all.
So my question
Absolutely.
is,
That one
when
is
we're
just
chatting
flicked
about
off the pads there, and some runs there for the Sri Lankans. One to come.
when we're chatting about Eindrich Nokia, why not give him first change? I mean, take the pressure off him with the new ball. Just give it to someone else. He's become a little bit more expensive than I'd like, and he's not striking or hitting the good lengths. So why force him to open the bowling is my question.
Because obviously the last time Luto opened the bowling and he got plastered all over the ground. So I think the South Africans are just overcorrecting here, and it's giving them the similar result.
Ngiti in again, and this hits Chandimal on the hip, but that is the end of the over. Sri Lanka 44 for 2. Chandimal 10 from 8. Kusal Pereira 24 from 21. Ended the Ngiti over there 2 for 17. That was a really expensive one. 12 runs from it. 11 runs from it.
Otto commenting to us on Facebook, he says, remember, you can advertise on One World Sports Radio. Get in touch with us now and get your brand in front of the Proteas men and women's teams fans. We can also offer rugby and football commentary to get you noticed by our fanatical followers. Hashtag ProteaFire, hashtag SAVSL.
So change of bowling here. Vian Mulder is going to get a ball this evening. A man who picked up 3 in his first outing here today. And an interesting selection there by the South African skipper. Instead of going for Luto Sipamla, he's gone for Vian Mulder, who replaces Heinrich Nokia. He passes the umpire now, and this one's driven straight to Themba Bavuma, who's lurking there at a shortish cover.
Yes, Vian Mulder's been the most accurate bowler of the Proteas in that first innings, and it's reward for his accurate and stellar bowling. Obviously, we saw Luto go from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs, but Vian Mulder has been very consistent, and adding with those 30, could it be a no ball? It looks like there might be something behind there.
Something? Anything?
Looks like there is.
Hard to say.
Kusal Pereira.
That's a no ball.
No ball signaled by Maria Erasmus. So Vian Mulder started with a no ball. Not really a great start, but he comes in again, passing right arm over, and oh my word, what a delivery there. That's missed the off stump by his whisker.
That's what we want to see.
And that's essentially what we want to see, the accuracy that he's bowled with in the first innings, making the batsman consider, think about his off stump, think about playing shots, torment that fourth, fifth stump line, as we see Lungi Ngiti setting up Kusal Mendes for his wicket with those balls in that channel, and there was one that obviously got that edge.
That next delivery is just absolutely beaten Kusal Pereira underneath the bat and has Again, missed it by a kitten's whisker.
Ooh,
This man
no, that was
is,
very close.
yeah, Vian
Wonderful
just
delivery
showing
there.
us, beautiful seam position coming in. And you can even see the seam position. It's facing the was more facing first slip rather than second slip. But it's giving Vian the ability to get that ball to swing that ball into that left-handed batsman. Really, really good choice from Quinton de Kock there.
Next one defended by Kusal Pereira. He takes the hand off the bat there as he just defends it. No run for him there.
And just that hint of movement that we're getting here from Vian Mulder, just on the right length, that variable bounce, it's brilliant to see. This is the kind of prodding we want, putting pressure on the batsman. That's either you miss or I hit, or if you don't go for it, could be costly.
Mulder in again, and this is a little bit of a wider one this time, but no false stroke there by Kusal Pereira. 45 for 2. They trail by 180.
Yeah, I think if Kusal Pereira had to throw his hands at that one, he'd probably have to give it the kitchen sink. If he had to prod at that one, a second slip would have been in business.
100%.
Absolutely. That was the downfall of Aiden Markram, where a rash shot outside, and he didn't quite throw the kitchen.
But Aiden, I think he threw the kitchen sink at it. It was just he just couldn't get it past that fielder at backward point.
Mulder in again with a leg stump half volley, and this one's been whipped away square of the wicket, and 4 runs there for Pereira. He's not going to miss out on a leg stump half volley. It's wayward there from the young South African.
And that's been the problem with South Africa and Sri Lanka in terms of bowling. Maiden overs are not being emphasized a lot in terms of bowling plans. It's always been a lot of the overs have like a boundary to it, and it's just causing a lot of easing the pressure a lot on the batsman.
Absolutely, it's you do all the hard work, and then to throw it away with a boundary is a cardinal sin. I think in Test cricket, you've got to make sure that when you do get that opportunity, you don't chuck it away.
Look, he's a youngster, and I think he'll learn. But I think this bowling attack also has to learn that you create the pressure in Test cricket, especially because wickets are. It's not like an ODI where the batsman has to impose himself on you, and you can get away with mishits and missed times. This one, you have to work for your wickets, and in working that, you're building the pressure. And Lungi has that right now. A little bit better than all the other bowlers so far.
And you're only going to learn one way, and unfortunately, it's going to be the hard way. The start of the new Ngidi over is just fended away to Bavuma at point region. No dice for him there.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, that's what you need to and as a captain, your question is, what are the plans? What are you trying to do? We spoke about this the night before. We spoke about this at the end of the session. This is what you're planning on doing. Are you executing these? And you hold the bowlers to it.
Ngidi in again, and this one spits up like a cobra as Chandimal fends it away. And there's another bit of a whisper in the ear from the South African slip cordon. I think they're obviously trying to get into the heads here of the Lankans. They're really 2 down in their search of chasing that South African lead.
We just had a lovely little diagram here showing the Sri Lankans how they chase the width, and happened a lot in the first innings as Ngidi comes in.
Ngidi in once again, passing the umpire, and this one is chopped between bat and batsman, and it's beaten Van Tonder on his right-hand side. He's had to run with the dome on his head to the deep square boundary.
Yeah, just as I was saying.
Yes?
Sorry about that. As I was saying, the diagram showing how the Sri Lankans have been going for those wayward offside balls. If you just get it a little bit close to the stumps, not getting it too far wide, then you're in business, because they're also very keen to go for those balls.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing: those balls are bad balls. It's not as though those balls were actually any good. They were too wide that the batsman doesn't need to use his feet to play at, and it's something that we're probably going to have to take up with SuperSport, because yes, they're chasing the width because you're bowling rubbish. It's not as though you're bowling some really good balls, and they need it. There's because I know Sean was the master of that metronomical corridor of uncertainty, just to keep putting the ball there, and that's what we need right now from a South African point of view. Vern came in for a decade; he did that for us. Now we need that next bowler who can do that.
Exactly.
Kagiso was very good at bowling that line and length. He's learned on the job for the past 5 years in international cricket, and that's why I think they had to rush him back in.
Ngidi in once again. The previous one just had the hand off the bat from Chandimal. And this one again hitting to Maharaj, who's now at backward point. 3 slips and a gully, lurking to try and poach a wicket late here. South Africa already taking 2 early on in the Sri Lankan innings, but I think these 2 are trying to consolidate the ship.
And that's why a player like Linton Steenman was really unfortunate, because he was going to be that guy who's done that year in and year out on the domestic scene, that corridor of uncertainty, testing the batsman. He just obviously had that niggle that unfortunately ruled him out.
Convincingly driven is the next one. It's over pitch by Lungi Ngidi. Chandimal just says, thank you very much. And that one races to the boundary. 4 runs, end of the over.
Again, trying a little bit too much from Lungi Ngidi. He's looking for that perfect ball, and he just overpitched it there. And Dinesh Chandimal just taking the ball very nicely there, just on that half volley, just bring the bat in and let the ball fly.
Absolutely. What a shot. What a cricket shot. Just a small stride and bang. Just go fetch.
From the center of the bat. It looks pristine. Looks incredible.
Mm-hmm. As we lights are up at Centurion. A little bit dark outside.
Absolutely. The final 12 minutes of the day's play here at Supersport Park in Centurion. The Sri Lanka still trailing by 170. Vian Mulder in once again, and this one's nipped away. Wow, that has gone a long way. Pereira chased it, but unnecessary, you would say, gents.
Yeah, yes, look at how Vian is bowling with a lot of skill here. He's got a ball to come into the right-hander. He's got one to the left-hander. He's got one to stay away from the left-hander. He's really shown quite a lot of skill from a bowling perspective.
Absolutely. He's in once again. Absolutely. He's in once again, passing the umpire. And this is on the pads, but he's gotten away with a bit of a freebie there, as the man at square leg has collected that one. So nothing there for Pereira. 80 miles an hour. He's not slow, but he's not breaking speed limits. He's pretty much a Sri Lankan pace bowler.
No. Oh, come on. Suranga Lakma's going to come in the next game and surprise all of you with his quick deliveries.
Don't say all of
I
you.
hope so. In once again. Straight to delivery on the pads. There's a shot for a run out here, but Sipamla doesn't quite hit the stumps there, and they get through for a single. So thankfully, he's able to get off strike his Pereira.
And look, I think it's very good that Vian is taking a little bit more of the bowling workload so far in his early career in Test cricket, because I think South Africa are going to be leaning on him quite a lot more, especially going into the subcontinent, where we might need him to give us a few more overs, and we might need him to play to give us that batting depth and have another and one of our out and out quicks might have to sit out. So he's proving quite a lot, quite useful for the selectors going forward.
Definitely. Tsepo, I mean, he's somebody that is still young enough that could be in this test side for a decade.
Exactly, it's the long-term goal here that you're getting, and you're also getting that quality. You just spoke about how he's getting so much movement from the ball here. Seam presentation looks great as he bowls to Chandimal here, this one just back of a length as Chandimal just pushes this one on the back foot for no run. Yeah, he looks good. He looks very good, and it looks like he's learning more and more with each of these games. So I really look forward to seeing a lot more of him in the future, a lot more of him in the squad. And if he's not in the starting 11, I definitely feel that will be knocking on the door for many, many years.
The favorite child, Mpho, of Otis Gibson.
Bjorn Mulder. And Jeff Tayana. Jeff loves this man.
What can you blame him? Look at him. Mulder in now for his final delivery of the over, and that's just left alone by Chandimal. No run. That is the end of Mulder's second, 6 from his 2 overs, 56 for 2, and about 9 minutes worth of play left in the day here.
Can South Africa get just one other wicket before the close of play to set up tomorrow, seemingly to be the final day and the decider, unless the Sri Lanka come through with the physio comes through with a massive job tonight to get a lot of their players ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Some serious work ahead of him, Tsepo.
100%. But it's not an insurmountable task. The key is just one run at a time, and make sure that you finish this game. Get through the innings.
Absolutely. 6 wickets on day 1, 7 on day 2, and 8 today. And consistent fall of wickets. And Ngidi once again round the wicket, and he's absolutely bamboozled him with a fantastic delivery there. Hands on mouths from the South African fielders there, because that is wonderful bit of bowling there.
This is what we love to see. Just a bit of a bounce.
No footwork whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
Ever so slightly away. Watch this. He comes in a little bit of an away nip. What a delivery. Quinton de Kock with his mouth agape. If he didn't have hands, Quinton could have caught that with his mouth. He was so far. Markram again. Capitan. Skipper. Ngidi in once again, and this is a full one. It's gone down the leg side. There's a shot. Was that Mr. Umpire? And Adrian Holstock says, what do you want from me? Lost my 8. Leave me alone. They're considering a review. Ngidi's like, come on. And the review is taken. Trying to buy a wicket, I think.
Yeah. And you know what? With this pressure, I think it's a good move. While they still have the Sri Lankans under pressure, there are 3 reviews that you can play with here. If there's any time to go for one, now's a good time. Get one of these very strong, very established batsmen in, and then you're starting to get into the injured players. So definitely worth a shout. Oh, never mind.
Nothing there. Just came off the thigh pad.
Never mind.
Nothing at all. I wonder if is it worth considering the adding up or the accumulation of reviews in a test match instead of getting 3 fresh at the start. So whatever you had in the previous innings, you get plus your 3.
No, that would slow the game down even more. Because you could end up with a team having 6 reviews in the second innings, and it just taking up a lot of time.
But then maybe you take away something like you retain the review if the umpire's call is not fortuitous to you. But that is given away.
That already happens. So with the retaining of the review if it's umpire's call.
Absolutely. Temba Bavuma with a scowl on his face, and maybe it's just because of the late afternoon sun in his eyes. I can't blame him. I would also probably be frowning with that. And in once again, Lungi Ngidi round the wicket, and this is driven comprehensively through the cover region, but not the timing. It looked very good, but it didn't quite come out the bat as Pereira would have liked as he gets through just one.
Love to see the quality of Ngidi coming through here, exactly what the South Africans needed. 2 quick breakthroughs at the beginning to put Sri Lanka's backs on the wall. And now we have a test match, gentlemen.
Yes, it's just the run rate has run away. Sri Lanka getting to 57 very quickly, and some very poor bowling on the other end of the pitch.
This next one is just left alone by Chandimore from Lungengiri. And Sri Lanka 57 for 2. They trail by 168 in day number 3 as we wrap up for this first Betway test.
Yeah, final day. Yeah, this is day 3. It's a moving day. South Africa set themselves up for a win. And
boy, did we move.
Yes, we did move. This test match moved incredibly.
We cleaned out the house. And Ngiti in once again. This one is wafted up and over the slip cordon. Falls safely. Boundary serve.
Very well played shot, that. Very, very well played shot. 100% control. He knew exactly how to use the bounce that he got there from Lungengidi and just guides it right over the slip cordon. Yeah, some quality batting on display here. And that's why the South Africans need to strike early, put these gentlemen under pressure.
Yes, another bad ball put away, messing up a good over. Just there's always a full ball in and over for the South Africans, and that's just really disappointing. You know, you don't have to bowl like T20 where, you know, you need to make the most of 6 balls. You can make the most of your spell rather than just the 6 balls in and over. So you don't have to have different balls every ball. But seemingly the South Africans are falling into that trap. The last ball of that over played out to the offside, no run. As we try to get Dave back on to the stream there. Just end of that over, South Africa, Sri Lanka 61 for 2, trailing South Africa by 164. Dave, you're back. Nothing much there. We've covered that final ball.
Wonderful. Sri Lanka with the... Is it insurmountable, gents?
Yes. What the targets?
Well, just
I don't think it is.
Match.
I don't think it is. I think anything can happen. Anything can happen. I just don't see Sri Lanka bowling South Africa out with bowlers 5, 6, 7, and 8. But
Mulder in again, and this one's just worked off the pads as Lucas Apamla. Sorry, Mpo has to come and do some fielding here late in the day as they come through for 2 comfortably. Go ahead.
And that's the cloud looming over this test, is whether some of the players will be able to come back into the game and bowl. If they are able to come back, how long do they need to wait in order for them to bowl again? And that's why the Sri Lankan team is keeping quiet about all these injuries, largely before they come back, because if we all know what's going on, South Africa we will know how far South Africa are ahead of this match.
Mulder in once again, and that was a ball that spat up out of the floor there as Conrad Cock took it almost above his head there. Wonderful bit of bowling there from the South African fast man.
Yeah. Mayura on YouTube saying Kusal Perera is going to take the last 100 of this year. What do you guys think?
That's a brave assessment. Brave assessment. He's done it before against South Africa. Mulder in once again, and this is a full delivery and just leading edge there from Perera. Nothing.
That's a very good ball turning. It's a little bit straighter line, but it's still getting that lovely shape in off the deck into the left-hander's pad. So if Vian can try and get one to go across the left-hander from that line, you could probably have the slips in business.
Absolutely. As we are probably in the last over of the day's play, there's 3 balls left in this Mulder over. Kusal Perera facing up more over the wicket, and that's driven straight back at the South African fast man, and he stuck a paw out and stopped it. Well done, sir.
We love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah, Vian Mulder proving to us that he's also a good fielder as well.
Quality all-rounder. That's what we want to see. Someone that's putting it all out there at this late stage of the day, not just rolling over and just letting the fielders do the work. Let's get it done. We have a job to do. Keeping it as tight as possible. Yep, that's.
I think Quinton's giving these youngsters. I'll tell you after the ball.
Last 2. This one has just worked off the knee. They said a yes, no, but the fumble from Keshav Maharaj means they get through in the end.
I think Quinton's giving these captaincy hopefuls jobs throughout this test match. You know, you see Aiden Markram encouraging the team. Rassie van der Dissen before that ball was chatting with Vian Mulder, just giving him some words as to what the plans are. So yeah, maybe that could be an easy way for Quinton to lighten the workload.
Delegates, yeah, maybe that's exactly what he needs, because the captaincy pressure is something that's been a conversation for all of us, and maybe he's just the spearhead of a very, very long spear where everyone has something to contribute. Yeah, and I like to see the fire, like with that misfield that was a run out opportunity. Aiden Markham just clapping his hands in frustration because he knows, hey, should be doing better. Maybe that's also what he's bringing to the to the setup. Not being
right. Here he goes, Mulder for the last ball of today. This one is off the pads and it's worked away down to the fine leg boundary. Lungi collects it, and everybody's in the ears of the Sri Lankans. Yes, no, yes, no. Shall we have lunch, tea, dinner? Right, that is the end of play for today. As everybody walks to the change room. Stumps.
Yes, stumps on day 3. Sri Lanka finished a 65 for 2. They started their innings about an hour ago and managed to score 65 runs in 5.41 overs. This partnership, let me just get you how much this partnership is worth. I think it's worth, this partnership is worth 43 runs. And the run rate's been 5.86. So there's some very good bowling from South Africa, but some increasingly poor balls there. 4 balls there from the South Africans. Currently at the crease, Dinesh, who will start off tomorrow, Dinesh Chandimal, 21 of 21 balls. Kusal Pereira, 33 of 39 balls. On YouTube, Mayura says, or I think he wants us to sing it. He says, Mayura Priyanath say, get out the way. Pitch, get out the way. And yeah, so thank you very much for joining us, Mayura. Are there any final tweets there, Tsepo, for us to go through?
No, we had no final tweets here. It's been pretty dry here. Don't forget, you can tweet us at Guerilla SA, and we'll read out your tweets. Say what you want to say, and we'll say it for you.
And a very interesting shot that we're seeing from the television is of Dinesh Chandimal getting on top of that buggy ambulance. Now, I don't know where he's going to, but he's going to get treatment. He's not walking up the stairs. And so it's just incredible.
Because it's a mile to the change room from the stairs.
Yes, but remember, he's always also had that cough problem. And that's just very tough for the for the Sri Lankan team. Just so many injuries everywhere you look. But I know Mickey Arthur will have them ready tomorrow. To fight through this, and even though they're going down, they'll go down with a fight. So gents, any last words? I think Dave's now gone. Tsepo, do you have any last words for today?
Last words for me is I want to see a slower run rate, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. And moving day was a brilliant day. I'm keen to see some more tomorrow.
Dave, do you have any final words?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mpo and Tsepo, for your company in this final hour and a bit of the day's play. Yeah, definitely South Africa and the pound seat. It's good to see if you're a South African fan. If you're a Sri Lankan fan, worrying signs with the number of injuries. You're going to probably see a number of changes in the New Year's test, the one on the 3rd of January from the Imperial Wonder. So looking forward to seeing how the rest of this test pans out.
Listen, from all of us here at One World Sports Radio, also Guerilla Cricket South Africa, it's been a pleasure to have been bringing you this game. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We'll be with you for the first ball there. South Africa needing 8 wickets and Sri Lanka trailing by 160 runs. So it's going to be an enthralling day's cricket tomorrow. From ourselves here, Lesale Kakahiso.